All right. Hello and welcome to Runtime Initiative, where we are kicking off at least a few sessions of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It's going to be a good time. We're going to start off with some character introductions real quick, just to give everybody an idea of who you guys are playing, what they should be looking for, and then we'll get into the rest of the story. So whoever wants to start, not Kevin?
Sure.
Yeah. No. I looked at the wrong person first.
Oh, no, thank you.
Hard pass.
My name's Kane Casanova. You might have heard of the Casanova brothers. We run a small courier operation here in Waterdeep, amongst other things. What kind of background are you looking for?
Just like very high level, if you were your elevator pitching yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, our courier service is well known for its repute, its trustworthiness, and its reliability. We can take pretty much anything, pretty much anywhere. Work for anyone who's got coin for the most part. My partner in this endeavor is Zarias here. We're both half-elves. We're half-brothers. Our father was a human with a thing for elves, as it turns out. So we didn't meet each other for a few years, but ended up sort of growing up the rest of the way together. I have dark hair, brown eyes, a bit of a beard, nothing too crazy. My armor is, it hardly armor, but it's like some nice like leather kind of padded armor. Nothing too crazy. I can definitely move around in it pretty well. I have been known to do a card trick or two in my day, and I casually play the harmonica.
Very nice. We'll go on to your brother next.
So, your name was not Kanye, Kane.
That's not Kanye.
That's how I remember your name.
My name is
not
not Kanye.
Kanye.
Right.
Kanye it is.
So I'm the slightly younger and just as dashing brother of the two Casanova brothers, Zarias Casanova.
How do you spell that?
Z-A-R ''IUS.
Should just not know.
If you call me Zarius, it's okay because I'll probably accidentally say that too. Similar disposition to his brother. Both of them very well liked, fairly well known given how large the city is. But a little bit different in terms of he's got blonde hair, it's longer, and it's kind of combed over, but has the sort of like constantly like windswept kind of look because of how like matty it can be kind of.
How pretty boy Elvin
Yeah, it's
is.
very pretty boy Elvin. Because he is distinctly half high elf. And he's clean shaven, got very like distinct angular features, but also the brown eyes. Also clad in some pretty nice looking leather armor, so to speak, mostly for appearance than it is for function. And he definitely is quite good at catching a tune.
Okay.
And he carries a lance. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
We deliver lances. That's what we do.
The whole
I really wanted.
We're really
to
efficient in
business.
delivering things.
Booming.
Because the lance delivery business sounds just about right.
there we go.
There's one.
Boo.
Tori or Stefan, either one of you guys next.
Okay. So my name, or at least what you can call me, is Quill. You may or may not have heard of me. If you've heard of me a lot, that probably is a bad thing. I try to keep a pretty low profile. Don't try to make too much of a name for myself. Although if you see me, I'm very outgoing and friendly. Don't seem like I would have a lot of enemies or anything. kind of always happy to meet new people, and but I do have a bit of a reputation as sort of a con man. For those of you who are might know the right people that might know that kind of thing. I know most of you may know otherwise, but I appear to be human. Sort of brown-haired, longish, just sort of like to the back of the neck, kind of almost a little dirty, but still sort of smooth at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
If you look closely, I have like a tattoo of a feather behind my ear, sort of curling around the back. And I'm sort of, I don't wear anything too crazy. I don't carry anything more than like a dagger. As far as weapons go, I'm wearing sort of like a white, for lack of a better word, pirate shirt. It has sort of like longer sleeves that droop. A white shirt kind of cut off at the mid arm. Black vest, black pants, belt, and like black boots that go halfway up my leg, halfway up my shin. And then a red scarf that sort of is tucked into my belt on the side, sort of hanging brightly down the side. I carry a few pouches around my back. Other than that, though, I'm pretty unassuming. Seems like a guy you might want to get a drink with.
Awesome.
All right. My name is Aylin, or at least that's what I go by in Waterdeep. I'm a high elf, so I have the appearance...
A-Y.
Yeah, A-Y-L-I-N. I might look a little bit like a dark elf, just at first glance. I have very dark gray skin, silver hair, taller, pretty fair. I'd say I look generally friendly, but reserved and probably a little bit aloof, as you'd imagine most elves to be. I'm wearing a very bright blue cloak. I have a weapon on me, but you likely can't see it with the cloak. And I have a amulet with Coralline symbol, the half moon on it.
Coralline is the elven sort of primary deity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. Well, welcome to the Yawning Portal, at least the most infamous portal in Waterdeep, maybe all of Faerun. Where you guys are gathered around a sturdy wooden table, lit by a brightly burning candle and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sounds of gamblers yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. Then, all noise is eclipsed by a shout. "You pig! Like killing me mates, does ya?" Then a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild swinging punch from a male human whose shaved head is covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see if blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators clusters around the brawl. What do you do?
Well, this looks exciting, doesn't it, brother?
Are there rafters?
There are, in fact.
How many spells should I prepare? 3. Okay. I'm gonna circle them really quick.
Certainly a lively evening.
Any of you know either of them?
No idea. But I always like a good show.
Well, let's go watch.
Okay.
Think we can get up there? I think looking for hopefully some sort of crossbeam that I can just...
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely make it up. It'll be a little bit of a jump and a strength check to kind of pull yourself
You
up.
think
but...
if I give you you could do that,
Probably the other way, and then
2 silver,
sure.
the girl knocks him on his ass.
All right, come on, let's go.
yeah. So what it's basically just like
He's
gonna lift
boost.
each other,
Yeah.
boost each other up to
Yeah.
the.
Okay.
to
Go ahead
the
and
top.
make a pair of
assuming
athletics checks.
We're all sitting together.
Yeah, you guys
already?
are all at a table
Okay.
together.
Yeah. So the plan is to lift everybody up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I passed you guys drinks up as I guess before I come
Whoever's being lifted, you can make an athletics check to ascend above a rafter about 8 feet in the air.
Oh wait, doing the. I don't need to roll in there.
Sorry, who is you
So
are
he's
lifting
boosting.
him?
I'm boosting him.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage then.
Okay.
Are you just trying to get a better view?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys can see, like this crowd is kind of formed. The orc or the half orc stands about a foot taller than everybody else, and you can see her taking a few blows.
15.
As she's giving out a few. Okay, that's plenty. As you you get a boost up and almost leap off of Kane's hands and pull yourself onto the rafter and kind of hang out in a crouch. As you can now see that this circle is gathered around, you see that the half orc is now gaining a significant advantage and has got the human in like a full mount and is just pummeling his face into the ground, almost bouncing it off the floorboards.
How much money do I have?
It's a good question.
That is a
You
good
start
question.
with 10 gold? That's not right?
Sure.
I think 10 gold. Pretty sure it's 10 gold.
2 gold on the half
2 gold. You see down below, a few people like turn around looking up. The only person on the ceiling. And you can see now, like as you've gotten up there, there's the yawning portal. The main attraction is well in the center, and all kinds of heads have come over the ledge to kind of watch what's going on. But a few people raise their hand. I'll take it.
I point to one guy like, you.
All right. You grab him.
Aelin, you next.
All right.
All right.
I'll hop
Go ahead
up.
and make an athletics check with advantage.
Athletics is terrible.
Make a perception check while
Could
you're
it be
up there.
acrobatics?
Sure.
Try to
Yeah.
kind of dexterity my way
Yeah.
up there. 17.
17. You make it up just as easily, a little bit more gracefully, but stand on the rafter just
18.
the same.
And I'm gonna look generally concerned. Like, this looks
Your
like a problem.
concern is well warranted as
A broad smile on my face. I'm like,
Sorry.
this is sweet.
is quick to notice the punches that this human is taking are getting more and more dangerous than they are interesting.
I'm gonna look around. Is anyone gonna call the fight? Is it like
You guys are starting to see a few of the bartenders take notice as this has gone on for more than 8 seconds, which is the usual length of the fights in here.
Yeah.
So you see a few servers starting to move towards the fight, but nothing specific.
All right, up before I go break it up.
While that happens, I'm gonna
Try and get up too.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast message to the half orc.
Okay.
I'm
was gonna do that.
gonna be like, hey, I have a little bit of money on you, but people are starting to get pissed. You might want to chill out.
You just see all of a sudden in the middle of the fight, she goes, takes a swing right on the jaw. Boom, boom, boom. Just a few hard shots on this human before just falls down on the ground. And as he falls, they just yell, "Crunch!" And the other 4 humans that had been behind him all just pile on this half-orc woman and start pulling her down as a crowd. Yeah! Just like eggs them on.
I'm missing it. Let me up.
As Quill just jumped up and didn't quite grab it, you fall back down a little bit. You see that the half-orc took a few blows in the fight, and now with all 4 of them on top of her, she's really starting to look like she might be in trouble. Which you guys can see from the rafters.
does it look like she's with anyone?
It does not.
Do I recognize these other guys? Do they seem like thugs that I'm aware of?
Make an insight check.
Insight, huh? Oh, I'm proficient. 17.
17. They definitely seem like they're up to no good, or at least they don't have the best of intentions for what they're doing here. Definitely looks like they're probably not going to hold back.
Okay.
I'm going to shout over to Durnan,
Yeah.
assuming that's who's behind the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Durnan, you want me to...
Yeah, come on, I'll take this side, you take the other.
All right.
Oh, we're getting involved now. All right. So I'll hop down with and follow my brother.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and try and, just the closest human that's going after this half-orc and try and just, pull him off.
Okay, make a strength check.
Real strong. 18.
18. As you reach forward, you grab the back of his shoulders, and he's mid-swing. You kind of catch him, and he holds back like this. You grab around his arm and just throw him off as he kind of spins, almost as like a barrel roll in the air. You spin him off. You kind of, we got another one, boys! As you step in, make an intimidation check.
I am proficient at this. It's almost an at 20.
Real close.
19.
19. Outside. He's outside. Come on. And he goes. You see him kind of like crawl over, and as he crawls over to kind of grab the ankles of one of his friends, he looks up and he sees Durnan on the other side, just with his arms crossed, holding like a platinum tankard in his hand. He just holds it. Out.
Should probably do it.
Better run, boys!
And as he yells at this brawl, the humans very quickly grab their downed friend and sprint out the door, back into the streets. And after a few seconds, crowd disperses.
Throw the one that I had grabbed after him.
The man you'd made the bet with comes and hands you 2 gold.
Well paid.
I can't believe I lost it 5 on 1! But he hands you the gold nevertheless. And Durnan walks over to you, Kane, and says, "Can always count on you. Must be the 3rd fight this week."
Yeah, people just rowdy this time of year, I guess.
Must be. Festival of Wonders coming up, got people doing stupid stuff. But appreciate the help.
Hey, anytime. This is my favorite spot.
There you go. Your table need a round of drinks?
Yeah, we're looking pretty empty.
All right. We'll have it over in a second. Bunny! You guys see another... so Durnan is a little bit older, grizzled, former adventurer, dark brown hair, like a very well-cut 55-year-old man. Very capable still, and gave a lot of those guys reason to be concerned. But Bonnie is a red-haired human. She walks over with a handful of tankards and sets them down at your table and says, "Appreciate the help."
Anytime, Bonnie.
She walks away.
Very smooth, brother. Very smooth.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're left kind of on your own for a moment as the rest of the full tavern goes back to their drinks, card games, etc. for the moment.
So what were we talking about again? That was entirely too fun for me to remember.
For the life of me, I have no idea.
I think you were all gonna chip in, pay for the pleasure of my company, right? Is that, I think that's where we're at. Right about this?
I didn't realize it was so funny.
Quill,
The other times I met him.
never turn it off, can you?
I can't. You'd be surprised how often that works. Never often.
After a few moments, you guys hear from a couple tables over, you hear, "Dip, dip, 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 dip," as more and more people start to kind of join in this chant. You guys see a young man, no more than 22 years old, walking over towards the counter or the bar that Durnan is serving behind. Slaps down 2 gold pieces on the bar. Durnan hands him a wooden tankard, takes it, drinks, and he starts walking over towards the well that descends into the Undermountain. And you guys
Do we know?
Do you know?
What do we know about
Yeah,
this whole?
So you guys
clearly
have
we've
seen,
been here before.
Yeah.
But
So you guys have seen this happen before. Dipping is a betting game where you can win money from the bar as well as keep anything you might find in the Undermountain, where you pay a deposit of some amount that you can multiply by 5 or 10 depending on what you bring back up. You watch as the man takes his tankard, finishes the beer in just a few gulps, and tosses it into the well. And then his friends hand him the rope that kind of hangs down from the middle of the yawning portal, and he ties it around his waist and begins to descend. As he...
How far are we from the well?
Maybe 30 feet or so.
Does that rope look like it's fraying to anybody else?
This looks dangerous.
have you?
Here it goes. It's giving way.
Seen a dip before?
Is this a custom that you do with wells?
Just this one.
This one's a little special. It's a little different.
Only if they yawn.
There are a few of his friends shouting, "Stays down 3 minutes! 2 copper if he stays down 3 minutes! 5 copper if he comes up with the cup!"
Those are horrible odds. Absolutely not.
If you're gonna bet, at least do it with silver.
As you guys see, a few people go up and start placing bets. and a small hourglass starts to flip over as he descends kind of beneath the top of the well. After about a minute that goes by, there's no sign the rope is continuing to move down, and people start getting upset and changing coins with the debtors that they owe. And after 2 minutes pass, people start to focus in a little bit more on the well itself. After 3 minutes, you finally hear the small ding echoing of a bell coming back up, and his friends start to pull and pull on the rope. But as it gets closer and closer, you hear the bell start ringing faster and faster and faster, until you finally hear echoing up from the top, "Hurry! Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!" as he's ringing the bell. Make a perception check from the group if you're paying attention to this.
Heck yeah. Nat 20. So 20.
Go.
15.
15?
16.
16?
I am so paying
13.
attention.
13. So all four of you, aside from the echoing shouts of whatever this poor man is frustrated about, hear these grunts of some creature not native, at least to Waterdeep, at the very least. Until finally, out of the yawning portal, and I need to borrow some markers if we have them.
What kind?
Pass me that black one. Draw a... Let's see. Let's go like 50-foot wide square with a 20-foot wide circle around it. So like 10 by 10-ish.
Give me a thingy.
Thingy?
Pretty please.
Straight edge.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
That'll work.
That's this guy.
What's this one?
That's Thunder... No, that's Sunbeam or something?
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's 50 foot. Alright. Say a 50-foot square?
Yeah. 50 feet by 50 feet. That'll kind of represent the area that you guys are in. Doesn't have to be exact. Just kind of the main room of the tavern.
We should have flipped it. It's in underground mode, not
And then
city
kinda
mode.
in the middle, around like that middle 6 hexes, just kind of make that a circle that'll represent the portal itself. When out of the darkness of the well, he claws his hands up the side as he's pulling himself up, and he launches over and kind of sits down in front of it. A large purple hand flies out of the top.
Oh, man.
Accompanied by 6 flying bulbous things that look like giant mosquitoes that begin flying in the sky. And as people start to shout and run for the doors, roll some initiative. Just kind of around.
6 of them?
6.
So all of these puppies. Is this the room?
Yeah. Yeah. That's at least like kind of the main area. You guys can be outside of that a little bit, but they'll kind of represent where they...
Congregate ourselves
He's
somewhere?
grin pretty well.
Wow.
Yeah. Oof. 9.
We're gonna place ourselves here now? Is that what we're doing? Place ourselves?
Yeah, go and place yourselves like kind of outside on the 20. You guys are together outside of this kind of square somewhere.
I'll pick on this side because it's closer to the
What do I add when I roll for my short bow? Or my mace?
Mace is strength, dexterity, short bow.
Temporarily steel brand.
Is there any kind
Unless
of
you find
proficiency? Or is
a-
it just...
Other
modifier?
elf.
It's all your
that-
proficiency.
No,
what
I
are
don't
the
think
proficiency right
so.
now? Is it
Plus 3, I think.
Yeah, I
I
don't
forgot
have
to
a
go
lot.
through my stash.
Sorry, I don't see that anywhere.
Nero, too.
Oh, no, it's there.
If you go to
It's
the
2.
blue box
It's
of
2.
paper
Sorry.
ones.
Oh, man, we actually have real people.
There you go. Guys.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that. Yeah. Perfect.
Isn't there... Actually.
You want to use
No.
for now?
I thought there was...
Wickham.
Oh yeah, I was gonna steal Wickham just for this.
Go for it.
I'll find a more accurate one next week.
Would a
Yeah,
short sword be
maybe.
dex?
Oh man, actually that's
As well?
killer. I have like kind of a perfect one.
Yes.
But
Okay, great. Thank you. That's good.
All right. Let's go with some initiatives.
4.
4. Okay. Beautiful.
13.
21.
9.
And 13.
9 is Zarius. So you
Right.
said you're 19? 19?
21.
21.
Whoa.
13. As you kind of begin this combat, Durnan pulls a very large greatsword out from under the bar.
What a baller.
Kind of eyes you,
Yes, this is actually Durnan.
eyes you, Kane.
That's actually Durnan.
Yeah. I got the
Straight
name
up-
for
Here, let
him.
me see him.
He's the bartender.
That's
He's
so
a total
cool.
badass.
He's straight up freaking, what's his name?
Is my max health really only 9?
Yep.
He's
Level
Hugh Jackman.
1. Yeah,
He's
kind
Hugh
of.
Jackman, the
My max
bartender.
health
Yup.
is 9.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Mine's
flip the view to have this?
Yes, I absolutely
What?
do. My max health is 7.
Oh, mine's 8.
I've got like a 9th level character at 58. So looking at a single digit, I'm like, ooh.
You're telling me. I
No.
play the monsters, and they've all got like 200.
Yeah, right.
Well, with this guy, they have to. Oh, you wanted the combat to last more than a round?
Okay.
What's the beefiest thing I can put out that
Kane,
one to kill my play?
You are up first as the fray begins.
Okay. What do the little flying monsters look like?
They look a lot like this
Funny
picture.
you should ask.
Kind of like very weird pink bat-like things.
Huh.
Very long nose, odd, very like almost fur-covered head, about the size of an eagle.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I will get back up from our booth, and you guys see me pull a pair of daggers out that were sort of like tucked underneath my armor, subtly, and I will move towards the closest one of the little flying bat creatures, and assuming it's low enough that I can reach it.
Yeah, they're not. So, as you notice, they're flying very heavy. They seem to have like almost leaped off the troll's back and are hovering about 5 feet off the ground.
Okay, so it's not like, oh, there's a bird in here, and it's just
Right.
like up towards the ceiling.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and I would like to make some attacks with the daggers that I have drawn.
Go ahead and make your attacks.
It's plural. Look at you.
Not off to a great start. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not, as it's even in its slowed state is able to kind of dodge out of the way. You're kind of dodging patrons and pushing over tables to make your way into this area as it just barely evades your swipe, but
Okay.
just does.
And my bonus action, use 2-weapon fighting, try and swing with the other dagger. Does an 11 hit?
11 does not hit,
Okay.
unfortunately.
No.
It just flies a little bit out of the way. The chaos surrounding this eruption of excitement has definitely moved things a little bit, unfortunately. But Durnan, eyeing a chance to attack that greenish-looking one right there, is going to move in next. Yeah, runs forward up to that green guy.
Yeah, killed it last night.
And he is going to raise his trusty longsword and to make 2 attacks.
Like how instead of a shotgun behind the bar, he just pulls out this big honking sword.
24 and a 7. 24 is absolutely going to hit. And with 10 points of slashing damage, you guys just see the flash of a sword and then a spray of like blue and black blood as this thing explodes, and the bulbous kind of part of its stomach just gushes as you guys start to see these holes in the back of the troll that look like they're about the same size as the snout of these creatures.
Ugh,
lean forward.
They're mega nasty mosquitoes.
They're not great. And on the 2 little gray pseudo dragons, the ones that are represented by those, one of them is going to fly over to Kane.
No!
And try to make an attack.
Oh, you made flanking. How dare you?
I made it as if it was circling around. So
That is an 11 to hit, which I do not
That
believe
is
is going
not
to
gonna
hit.
hit me.
It is not.
Do you do flanking rules?
Not for the creatures.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
No, I mean in general.
In general, yeah. These guys are not intelligent enough to understand how to think, though. The other one is going to begin to fly towards whoever's represented by the Kenku back there.
This one?
Yeah,
That's me.
it's
Quill.
got 40 feet of flying movement,
Trying
so I
very
think
hard.
it can actually get to that.
Trying very hard not to be conspicuous.
There you go.
Clearly that failed miserably.
It rolled a 8 total, so that is not going to hit you, as both of these things flying a little bit too slow and a little bit too close to the sun are unable to do any damage on their first round. Next up is going to be Aelin.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna scoop my body up a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Bless on my 3 buddies, just so they have a little bit of help moving forward in this fight.
Very nice.
Hit something now, maybe.
So you are concentrating, and the rest of you add a d4 to your attack rolls and ability checks.
Excellent.
Brother, I think we should keep her around always.
I don't know my concentrating circles went.
Huh?
Yeah, a little.
Discs.
Oh, hey, this one says blessed.
Hey! Look at that. Anything else in your turn?
Nope.
Okay. After your turn, the other
And you're black.
Sturge next to Kane, represented by the Mephit over there, is going to make an attack.
Okay.
Which one? The red one?
That is an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Can I cut in words? Is that a thing I can do right now?
Get a blue one.
I don't think you're there yet. I think that's a
No, I
level
have
3
no
bard thing.
inspiration.
Lenny, get a concentrating one.
That is 4 points of damage.
How dare you.
As you feel this, what looks kind of like a soft appendage pierces through the skin on your chest and kind of lodges itself about an inch deep, and you feel it start to kind of pull some of the blood out of your body. You take a bit of piercing damage.
A bit. That's certainly a
of
bit.
piercing damage. That was a really good roll on the d4.
It's all about perspective.
And that will be its action as Zarias. You ready? You're next.
Oh, I am salty. My brother just got whaled, so I will immediately move over to hit said offender.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
So I pull out a rapier and stab to this bad boy.
Go for it.
18.
18 absolutely hits.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
D8's my favorite dice. 2 plus 3, 5.
5 points of damage. You take your rapier and just thrust forward through the middle of this creature. Seeing it explode from blood earlier, you just hit something vital, and it just starts pouring out like a hose, and almost like an opened balloon, just flies away from the blood loss and just collapses on the floor dead.
Yeah, I turn and look at my brother and I'm like, you doing alright? I apparently have a British accent now.
You can see the point where like the
You've always been one for impressions, brother. Like bleeding profusely.
as like this hole is ripped in his chest.
This looks really bad.
After Zarias, the Sturge represented by the fairy is going to go try to attack Durnan, and it's not going to go well for it. But
But it doesn't know that.
It's going to try. That is a 23 though, so that's going to hit. And Durnan will take 7 points of piercing damage.
How dare they? We need Durnan to tank this big guy.
As it just lodges kind of into his shoulder, you see him kind of start to grab at it as it kind of pierces his flesh there. Quill, you're up next.
Stop it! Stop it! Shake! And I'm gonna try and grab with shocking grasp.
Nice, do it. Shake.
I get a D4.
Mm-hmm.
Some hashtag bless.
Oh yeah, I didn't even use that.
Didn't even need it.
That's true. I rolled it.
Oh, that's got me enough. Like 17.
17 hits, absolutely.
Okay.
D8, yeah.
I think D8.
Yeah.
Yeah, D8. It's been a while. 7 damage.
Nice. You
7
murdered
points.
it.
You fry it, and you see its eyes kind of just go all white for a second and then fry out as it falls to the ground, kind of in your arms.
Murder time.
Lands on the ground.
And I just kind of like wipe it out of my live.
Very nice.
And I just sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move over here.
Nice. Knock that bad boy over so I don't forget. And last up is going to be the one represented by the kobold. And he is also going to try to hit Durnan, as they have bled this troll pretty dry. And as you guys get to look at the troll, he is not as fearsome as you have heard stories of. He looks paler than you would expect, and not in a more frightening way, but in one that's more looking grave, maybe running away from these creatures. And as the one going for Durnan rolls a 9, he is going to dive just low and almost hit into the ground at the end of his turn, as the troll will take his move.
So he's just gonna fall over.
He is going to climb up and out of the well using the better part of his movement towards Durnan, as he is definitely the biggest threat at the moment. And is going to make a couple of attacks at him. That is a 23 and a 22 to hit him with both claws. Oof. And Durnan takes an additional 14 points of damage. As he stands in the troll, claws him, you see blood kind of starting to pour out as Durnan is surrounded by enemies, and you just hear him shout over the rest of the battle, "Help!" As we return to Kane.
All right.
There's still the one.
Bleeding profusely, but there's still another one that came up and just attacked me. So before I can help Durnan, I definitely got to help myself. So I'm going to try and take that one out. A 23 to hit.
Plenty.
All right.
You swipe at this creature.
My brother.
For a grand total of 4 points of damage.
Very nice. That is enough to split the creature kind of down the middle and just has it fall to the ground.
Splendid. I will subsequently... I definitely don't have my short bow on me right now. I think with my offhand attack, what I'm going to do is... I think I'm going to throw my offhand dagger.
Do it.
And because he's definitely not facing me, and he's going for Durnan, hopefully that's sneak attack?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
cool.
engaged with another enemy.
Alright. Crap. A grand total of 12.
The 12 does not make the mark, unfortunately, as the dagger sails almost over the head of the troll and embeds into one of the rafters kind of hanging down from below. Looks like it's pretty loose. Might fall soon, though.
I'm not getting that for you.
I'll get it. It's fine.
Durnan, on his
Help
turn,
Durnan.
is going to try to rid himself of a few things as he draws the short sword attached to his belt and kind of stares the 3 creatures down in front of him. He's going to try to attack all 3 in the same turn. That is a 15 and a 17 to hit the Sturges, and a natural 1 to hit the troll. But this is going to be plenty of damage to kill both of the creatures. Yeah. He swings with both swords at the same time, just kind of up in the air, slashing at any flesh he can find. Finds enough to kill both of them outright as it kind of falls out, and you see a similar wound to what Kane has suffered in his shoulders, and kind of darkening the cloak up there, and just kind of stares down the troll as he lacks the energy to continue attacking. And in order to elicit some help, he is going to run his full 30 feet towards Kane and Zarias.
Like through the
Yeah.
threatening area?
Yeah, through the square. You will risk an attack of opportunity.
Don't bring him this way!
That is a 14, which is not enough to hit
Durnan.
as he dives and kind of does a short roll just below one of the claws, and the troll turns to face you guys. Most of the other, actually all of the other creatures felled so far. Both Sturges have fallen on that part. So Aelin, you're up next.
I'm going to move forward just a bit. And I'm going to cast Sacred Flame. I'm going to hold my holy symbol. I'm going to reach my hand out. He's going to have to make a dex save.
That is a 10.
Fail.
Failure. This kind of dark blue flame erupts around the center of this creature. I think it's a D8.
Sacred Flame's D8. Also,
Okay,
Shocking
thank you.
Rest is a D6. I'm just going forward.
Oh, thank you. Alright.
It does the no reactions thing. So.
7 points of damage.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Why was I thinking it was D6?
So
Very
1d8
nice.
Sacred Flame.
Okay.
As the flame kind of goes around, and any tattered bits that this thing had on it as some kind of covering are starting to burn up with this bluish flame. Zarias, you are up next.
Alrighty. So first,
Sacred Flame.
I'm like smiling but wide-eyed. I'm like, okay, not this way. And I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers.
Very nice.
Somewhere else.
Is that a wisdom
Not
save?
here.
Yeah, 13.
20,
I'm gonna sell the dice tray too.
unfortunately.
Does it still deal damage or no?
Um,
This one?
It's
Yeah.
no damage.
No damage.
Oh, it's like half damage.
Oh, sweet, yeah, do it then.
Yeah, they just don't do the movement.
Yeah.
Okay. that's
As he
fine.
kind of stares you down.
What's up, Smite Dice?
What up? We were ones and twos? No. Okay. 5.
5 reduced to 2.
Yep.
The small bit of blood that kind of comes out of his ear, he just kind of ignores as he stares you down.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to inspire Durnan.
Nice.
You got this, buddy!
We'll have you roll that in a second because he's going to need it.
You're not bleeding out. You're not bleeding
Quill,
out.
the action comes to you.
Is Durnan within 5 feet of the troll?
Not quite. He's able to get outside the range.
Alright, I'm gonna take a cue from Zarius. Zarius?
Zarias.
Zorius.
And sort of
The
like
guild.
come up behind you and just be like, maybe I can give it a shot. And then also try to wait, was it you who threw a dagger?
I threw a
I'm
dagger.
come behind you, Kane, and try and throw my own dagger.
Go ahead. Make your throw.
Mine's made of ice.
Ooh, that's fun.
Natural 20.
Oh, very nice.
Look at you.
This kind of cold wind whizzes past your shoulder as this dagger of ice just finds a spot in the center of this troll. Go ahead and roll double damage.
Hopefully he doesn't fall down the well.
16.
16?
I also need to make a dex save. As the ice shatters on impact and does more damage.
Oh my. That is an 11 on his dex save.
Is a fail. He takes 46 more
4d6.
because it's a crit.
This is a good spell.
4, 5, 6. Ice knife. 9 additional damage.
9 points of damage.
1, 2, 3, 4 or something.
Wow. Looking significantly less stable than he was literally 6 seconds ago. He remains standing, but in the face of this, now begins to eye the portal on his turn, and just kind of
I'm gonna.
starts to take a step into the portal, and using his movement, he's kind of going to vault over and is basically hanging by his hands at the end of his movement.
I'm like technically. Just do it. Just do it. Just like that.
Just
He did it.
and Kane, we come to you.
Wonderful. I am going to... I'm going to pursue this guy, and assuming he's just like hanging over the edge.
Yep.
I'm just going to reach over and just try and stab him in the eye.
Go ahead and make your attack. And this is considered... He has like negative cover. It's not quite prone, but his AC is going to be significantly lower. Oh
Nothing.
no! Right between his hands. Like you play the knife game with his fingers a little bit. You definitely stabbed the well though. Which is
I stabbed the shit out of the well.
yeah, you did.
I thought his head would be like closer, and so like my arc just jam it into the side.
It's all
of
in
the
the
well.
wrist. It's all in the wrist.
Make a dexterity save.
Oh dear.
Oh,
What? The old back-to-back ones.
The dagger that you had thrown earlier clatters to the ground next to you.
Wonderful.
Next
Just
up
as planned.
is Durnan, who is going to You know what? Maybe you had a little bit too much to drink. I'm gonna see what I can do here. As he takes his sword, swings it over the edge, rolls a 2, and does basically the same thing as he... Oh, he does have inspiration. Go ahead and add a D4 to that. All right, he's got a couple attacks. That's much better.
D6, it says.
With a non-natural 30 to hit after the inspiration on his second shot,
Just shy of enough.
he is going to just barely. He's going to take the sword, swing it at a downward angle, and nearly separate the troll's head from its body as the fingers release, and you see an echoing thud as it bounces off the different sides of the well and falls back into the yawning portal. And the threat subsides as Durnan kind of wipes his blade on his boot and turns to you. I think that's yours.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Next
Thanks,
time.
Durnan.
Has anyone seen my dagger that I threw? Anybody? Look, I misplaced a dagger.
Make a deception.
Make
a deception check.
I start thinking about it, and I'm like, dip!
Natural. Natural.
Natural one.
So I'll walk over to him and just continue cheering that and be like, dip! Dip!
Your hands are still kind of dripping a little bit from the ice.
I can't find it. It's just, no one's been paying attention to me.
Except me, I'm cheering for you. Until I recall that my brother was very wounded. Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Who looks more hurt, Durnan or him?
Definitely Kane. Durnan is injured, but is right now basically piling the bodies of these bat creatures into areas where he can easily move them around. It doesn't look too concerned about his injuries, whereas Kane, on the other hand,
is bleeding profusely from the shoulder.
I'm gonna
region.
compliment Durin and be like, "That was a very impressive display." And then I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on my buddy.
Very nice. Go ahead and...
It's gonna be 1d8 plus... Is it 1?
Spellcasting modifier? So
Oh, I
plus
thought
2
it was my
probably.
level. Yeah, plus 2.
Plus 2.
Excellent.
So
You rolled.
I rolled?
Yeah.
Durnan.
Either wounds.
See,
Yeah.
I still think it's a
9.
great idea for us to keep her around.
No one was disagreeing with you.
I'm just reinforcing it.
As you
Much
guys
better.
kind of congregate back together, you begin to notice a character who used to be drinking at the bar kind of poke his head back over from the other side and adjust his hat a little bit, and eventually steps out from behind the bar. As the figure who is now approaching you strokes his mustache, adjusts his floppy hat, and tightens his scarf. Volothump Gidarm, chronicler, wizard, and celebrity at your service. I am most impressed by your daring do, and the truth is that I fear I have misplaced my friend amid the odious violence which has recently been seizing the streets of our fair city. And I could use your assistance in finding him. You'd be well paid, of course, if you take this on. Volo, by the way, if I didn't say that earlier.
Do I know who?
As you said, do we have any idea who he actually is?
Make a history check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. So you definitely know who he is. Volo is a bit of a braggart, but definitely has some ability to back it up, as he has spent much of his life chronicling a lot of very dangerous monsters that live all across Faerun, both above ground and underground. The book that he created is called Volo's Guide to Monsters and is available on D&D Beyond for digital purchase. But he definitely has a lot of knowledge, is pretty wealthy, or should be, based on the books that he's sold. And you also know that he's working on another title called Volo's Guide to Spirits and Specters at the moment, or at least is doing research for it. You've definitely seen him drinking in here a lot, and most of the information is gathered by him oversharing to Durnan over several drinks, while Durnan's definitely not listening to him.
Well, have you
Oh,
heard
he's the monster guy.
You know, wait, which one is it? Is it the...
You a fan? Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't.
I'm
go that
embarrassed.
far.
Well, I certainly would. As soon as I'm back in print, I will get you an autographed copy. What's your name?
Zarias.
Zarias.
Yes, absolutely. A signed copy.
Oh, did you do the one? Did you do the one on the dragons? Or was that Kevin? Was that?
Oh, that was my colleague Kevin. Very familiar with mating rituals of all dragons, especially the ways in which they reproduce.
Really? I heard he was a quack.
It's fascinating that red dragons sometimes lay white dragon eggs and bury them in the Underdark in middles of lakes. Stunning research.
Crazy.
Just the darndest things.
The risks
Crazy.
he must have taken to get that information. I just can't imagine.
Well, like I said, you all look like you can handle yourselves extremely well, and I need some help.
I mean, okay.
All right, I can.
That's kind of what we do. We get stuff.
If the
He's not wrong.
I can give each of you 100 gold for your troubles if my plight is not endearing enough to
What do
you.
we need to do?
Find my friend Floon. He's been missing for at least a day or so. His name's Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, but he's a great drinking companion. Last night, he accompanied me to the Skewered Dragon. It's a dark, bawdy tavern in the dock ward. I called it an early night, responsible drinker that I am, but Floon remained, drinking and merrymaking. His wife tracked me down here in the yawning portal half an hour ago and told me that Floon never came home last night. And this was doubly surprising, as I had not previously been aware that he was married. Floon is a handsome man in his early 30s with wavy red blonde hair, and he's not difficult to pick out of a crowd. He always wears this gaudy, all nearly hand-width sized blue unicorn thing with chains of pearls around his neck. He's also a bit taller than most, but you can't miss him from the articles that he always wears.
What was his last name?
Blagmar.
So this is a pretty
Blagmar?
Blagmaar.
So if they're drinking buddies, and this is a pretty impressionable appearance, we've probably seen him here at the portal.
Yeah, go ahead and make another history check. Just gonna recall
What was the name of the bar he was last seen at?
the
Bad at remembering.
I'm amazing.
Skewered Dragon.
Or skewered dragon.
That's a non-natural 20. That's
Non-natural 20.
non-natural 20.
You've definitely seen him around. Like now that he kind of describes him and recalls a memory, you've seen him before. He's pretty. He's not super talkative. He mostly tries to keep Volo in check as he tells women of his conquests and tries to, flirt with them. Floon plays the backseat a little bit more, a little quieter, but nonetheless is. He's a striking guy for the even in Waterdeep, but you guys wouldn't have talked with him a whole lot.
I think I might have sold him a really nice timekeeper once. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly functional. It was.
Watch, he just had one of those that broke. Must be why he
It
bought
must
one.
not have been mine.
Right, yeah. No, buying a replacement, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
Of course.
Or maybe, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So then that's your only lead for his whereabouts then? The Skewered Dragon?
Unfortunately, yes, he never came home, and his wife certainly wasn't with us, so I guess it would be the best place to start.
Does he have any enemies?
Honestly, none to think of. Only people who would be upset with me, I suppose, but
Do you have any enemies?
no. Okay, go ahead.
Well, now you do.
20, non-natural.
He's definitely not being totally forthright. He has someone who's out to get him. It doesn't seem like he's super concerned for his immediate well-being, but that there's something kind of looming over him that might cause somebody to come after him.
So, your friend, if we don't find him, we get nothing.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. If you don't find him at all, no. But if you find... I don't want to assume the worst. And I don't want you to either, but if you find anything left, I mean, he was a good friend and he deserves to be buried the right way. I can give you... He pulls out 4 small leather pouches and he passes out them to you. Each of them has 10 gold pieces in it. Just consider it a measure of goodwill. Use this to find what you need.
I could just walk with this money.
Will for me.
You certainly could.
A stipend up
Should be
front?
careful.
You look like such a
Absolutely.
reputable person.
I mean, I have a very good reputation. All right, just
He sells watches.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
one shady sells watches.
Right. Definitely not on the inside of my vest.
No.
That would be.
Really? Can't.
You should like a faint ticking noise coming from me.
It's my thumb.
She's right. We do need to keep her around.
Alright.
God.
I think she's funnier than you, brother.
I'm a little. I don't mind that.
It's a lot of pressure.
What'd you roll on your insight check?
20, not natural.
Okay. As he passes out the pouches of gold, you don't hear a whole lot more coin jingling on his person. You get the sense that he might not. He's definitely got 40 gold.
Or had 40 gold.
He had 40 gold before he gave it to you.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Does he leave?
He's still kind of watching to see what you guys do next.
I mean, we'll take a look, I guess. But I mean,
What time is it right now?
nothing else. That was the easiest
A
10
little
gold I
bit,
paid.
like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys finishing up lunch.
Oh.
Do we have places to stay in the city?
You two at least live here for sure.
Yeah.
You would have somewhere that at least a safe house or something to stay in, if not an actual house.
I have a place.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
You
I
probably
feel like
will
the elven gods have a temple here. Do they?
There's a few. Definitely some that would give you shelter if you don't have anywhere else to go. But
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any jobs right now.
I mean, sounds like we do.
It might not pay well.
It's already
already
we got
paid.
20 gold already.
This is true.
If the rest of the job's as easy as this, then that's just some easy money.
Is this something we're gonna try to do right now?
Well, he didn't give us a timeline, so
I mean, it's.
Seem to get a little bit
it's
nervous as
completely
you keep
possible that
like
he's-
talking about it.
But
I was kind of hoping you left before I said
sort
that.
of like noticing that a little bit, like, but the sooner we get started, the fresher the trail will be.
I knew I could trust you. And he walks away.
Think about it, guys.
I mean, it's completely possible that he's just still passed out in an alley somewhere.
Yeah, easy 90 gold each.
True. We can go now. I'll be a little less helpful if we get into another fight.
Well, I can't find that dagger, so yeah, I'm.
Yeah, so we should look for that and then go.
Everyone's got a spare. I could.
I'll cheer
we
for
can
you.
go get it.
I ain't going down
he
there.
can go get it.
What the hell are
Not
you down there
us.
for?
You got it.
Fuck that! Did you see who came out of that hole?
Yeah, he came out with like. Actually, I didn't see.
I don't even have a dagger to defend myself with. All right.
I mean, once you get down
I just
there,
like,
you'll
hide
have
the
it.
dagger. I still clearly have in my belt.
Wait,
Nothing's,
is the
nothing's
guy-
gonna attack you until you're down there, anyways.
Is the guy who went down
That-
there still in the bar?
Yes, sitting. You see like 3 or 4 shot glasses turned over and another one in his hand as he's just at the bar. Durnan, he's got a small stack of like 10 gold pieces next to him.
He got paid for us to kill things that he brought up here?
Made it out of the well.
Seems pretty unfair, right?
Brought the cup
Easy
back.
that.
How about the orc woman? Half orc woman.
She is seemingly passed out. Sitting at a table. Bonnie is kind of fanning her and trying to bring her back to, consciousness. You two know Maloon, correct?
I believe that you said
The
Yeah.
Force Grey contact?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is also present at the bar.
Please tell me all about this person that we both definitely know again.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Let me flip to that page. Sorry, not Maloon. Where is it?
Salune?
Not Salune.
The moon.
Oh, sorry, it is Maloon. This is what they look like.
This is the one who's struggling.
Meloon.
Meloon, War Dragon. He is a blonde-haired human, dressed in pretty decent armor.
He's the one that's like tried to like
Let's get the
recruit
face
us,
of it
right?
work.
Yeah,
That,
a little bit.
jawline.
Yeah.
He was the one that has like tried to recruit us, right?
Yeah. He's like on his way over.
Moon Dragon what?
War Dragon.
War Dragon, yeah.
You know, the city could use a couple good protectors.
You know, I've seen so many of them out there already, and they're doing such a great job.
They all ran out the door when the troll came out.
I think we could use less of them. Am I here? Am I there?
You're in the area for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could use just the city's great. Just less guards would just cheaper taxes.
Oh God, what? I would tend to agree. I'm sorry, Maloon.
Quill. Yeah.
Albuquerque, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be like good at this.
You know, I agree. Part of Force Grey myself. Guards get in our way more than they help us. Don't tell them I said that. We operate a little outside the law, mostly within it, but outside where we
Same.
need to.
Always in the law.
In the law, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell me?
Oh, we gotta find this guy, right? Yeah, right. What were you guys saying?
You have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Just
Yeah, missing persons kind of case. Moon, this is the 4th time you've asked us to join now, and I'm sorry, but the answer's the same.
Figured I might catch you after the adrenaline. Feel good about yourselves a little bit.
Dude, I'm gonna find a guy for the monster guy. It's great. Volo or whatever is that weird dude.
Yeah, have fun with that one.
Hopefully I won't see him much more. He thinks I'm a fan now.
You'll only be seeing all of him now. People don't usually admit that. There's a support group for them, though.
Oh no.
I'm sure he'll leave you alone after a few years, but
Excuse me?
Years.
it sounds like you have your work cut out for you.
Wait.
You know where to find me.
I don't suppose there's some sort of way to file, like, one of those things that keep people away from you.
Restraining order.
Yes. What's the process for getting one of those?
How many times have you met this man?
Today.
Okay, I think you're gonna have to wait a little more than today.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly confident.
All right.
the nice thing is they'll usually last a
I'll
few
come back
months, and then
tomorrow.
you're good again. It's great.
What? Excuse me?
Oh my gosh.
That's how
Sometimes-
restraining orders work.
It's really annoying when it's like a place you can't go by because you have to like walk all the way around. Pain in the ass.
All right. Monster guy
Monster
thing.
guy.
Who are we looking for again?
Floon Blagmar.
Loon.
So, I guess on towards the skewered dragon then, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Are you sure you don't want to dip first?
I don't want to dip. No.
But your dagger.
We got a dipper! As people around start to cheer.
What? No, I start running.
Wait, come back! And I follow.
Man, there's the perfect contemporary song for that too. It's like, I put my hand up on your hip, and I dip, you dip, we dip.
That could be canon that you have to sing that.
Yeah, really. Next time, it came to me in the shower this morning. Let's go. Okay. All right.
On the way out, can I see if I can tend to the wounds of the orc woman at all?
Sure, make a medicine check real quick.
Nope. Natural 20.
Natural 20. So
Nice.
you very, very quickly assess that she was kind of knocked out. She's breathing pretty normally, and you can see motion kind of behind her closed eyes. But like a solid... the breast ice elevation kind of thing is what is needed at this point. Magic, any potions, it looks like she might have taken some and is resting more now than anything else.
Oh, so she's not up for talking.
You head over and kind of direct Bonnie, who looks extremely flustered as she has tables kind of yelling at her to bring them drinks and is coming back to like towel off the orc's head. She's kind of stirs.
You fight well.
Sometimes.
No, that was 4-1. That was very well.
I suppose.
Men with eyeball tattoos typically bother you and others?
More often lately. You have an interest.
Yeah, they're the only guys with eyeball tattoos. And they were the ones causing trouble.
Who's ever had this eyeball tattoo?
Make a history check.
Yeah.
That's racist. I have an eyeball tattoo.
It's a birth.
13.
13. So you know that there are, just based on kind of your timer on Waterdeep, there's talk, mostly gossip, of some underground organizations that try to operate outside of the City Watch and especially outside of the purview of any of the Force Grey members or Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors. They're two thieves guilds. One of them you've kind of heard of a little bit before, called the Zenerim, that exists. It's a little bit more connected and not quite as evil. And one called Xanathar's Thieves Guild. Nobody's really sure where the name comes from or how organized they are, but there have been reports on broadsheets throughout the city that say that tensions are rising between these two groups and that combat has kind of started between them. Specifically in both the True Waterdevian and the Vigilant Citizen. You've read those.
In the what?
There are two publications. The True Waterdevian and the Vigilant Citizen both seem to have the most up-to-date information about it. I got a chart of broadsheets in the city, and I'm not going to use it.
Just waiting for that opportunity.
There you go.
Nothing that prints the truth has the word true in its name.
True.
All right. Well, I'll tell her, well, you fight well. I wish you the best of luck.
Name's Yagra.
I know my name. Aelin!
Aelin.
Sorry, she's bashful. This is Aelin.
I'll be drinking here later. Appreciate the talk.
Very much. Nice to meet you. I'll go on my way with my group.
Just watched it a little bit, but nothing crazy. As you
What was
guys,
your name
Yagra.
again? Yagra.
But as you guys step outside into the streets of one of the major boroughs in the city, the Dock Ward, full of unwashed masses and ships' crews going to and from taverns and ships, unloading cargo and requisitioning new jobs. You make your way through the crowded streets in the busiest port into the city. Mist Shore, the kind of most infamous dock area of the city of Waterdeep, is located at the far western end of this about 25 block long strip of land. The Skewered Dragon is also in this ward, as Volo may or may not have told you, but he definitely was supposed to.
We know where it is,
Yeah.
right, guys?
Yeah.
Probably.
Make
We do deliveries all over the city, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you
probably have
guys
a pretty good
would
idea of what's where
Yeah.
if it's reasonably well known.
make an investigation check. Either both of you or one with advantage.
Let's both do it. Compete. I win. 15.
15. It takes you about
Ooh, you have a good modifier.
an hour and a half or so before you come along a street where you're pretty sure you've heard of it before, but as you've turned the corner, fighting through crowds and kind of passing over people carrying barrels and crates, you find yourselves in a street that's been cordoned off by the City Watch. Lying on the cobblestones are a half-dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. As you guys kind of look and pause for a second to look at the scene, one of the officers just turns around and says, "Get on! Nothing to see here."
And this is on the same street? I'm sorry. Or like right in front of it?
You're kind of turning left. So you're coming to the end of a street. You know you have to kind of go around the block to get to where the street you guys think the tavern is.
So we sort of need to go through this
Either through
scene.
or back and around another way.
Gotcha.
Do we see...
Also, friendly reminder from the Enchiridion thing that, like, it's, like, courtesy for us to just be like,
Mind
oh
your
shit,
business.
let's just, like,
Yeah.
veer off and not
was just thinking
make a
about
big
that.
deal about it.
Yeah.
If we rubberneck it all, like, if we should like try to look and see just what it looked like. Was it look like?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
So there was like, was it a magic
Yeah, so-
fight? Was it sword fight? Is it just humans? Do they have eyeballs on their heads?
Sure.
Yeah, so
Important question.
I also wanted to look, but as saying just like an apology to the City Watch. So it's like I'm casually like being like, oh, sorry, but actually trying to look at what's going on.
Okay. Make a deception check.
Perception? Is that mine?
Here's perception.
9.
9.
Do we
Dope.
do we have to go
22.
Or can we go around?
22.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
go around.
You're
There's
easily
another-
able
there's
to
another
like
route.
kind of side eye, and as you're kind of you look over the top, the guards kind of get in your face a little bit, and they're like, "Go on."
Oh no, sorry, don't mind. She's relatively new to town. Still,
Like wide-eyed at the blood.
still, not used to the ways of the big city.
Exactly.
We'll be on our
Sorry
way.
about that. Our fault.
As you guys kind of come back around the corner and walk away, the guards are kind of watching you. What you observed kind of while they were interacting with the guards. All 3 of the criminals had their hands kind of tied behind their back and on their knees. It was a very bloody skirmish. It looks like you could see even a couple daggers kind of scattered off to the side. There were 3 bandits dressed in dark robes, but kind of cut off at the shoulders, like a tank top almost. You saw on their on 2 of their hands, on the left hand on the top, there's a tattoo that looks kind of like a flying snake, and the other one has it kind of on the inside of his right forearm. There's this much longer going almost all the way up to his bicep, as they all kind of just look at you. All 3 of them kind of catch your eye for a second.
I wink.
So these are the ones.
Do I recognize the flying snake tattoo?
Go ahead and make a history check.
15.
15? Yeah. Based on kind of some of the same... You guys are involved in a little bit of shady business and have definitely taken a job or two from the organization that this represents, which is the Zenerim. Not necessarily an evil organization, but definitely the closest to evil of like the larger organizations that exist in Faerun.
Very ambivalent about the law.
Yeah, morally ambiguous, using what they can to get ahead and not above theft or assassination in extreme cases to get what they need. So you definitely have seen that symbol before. You also notice that one of the downed assailants had a large purple eye on the back of his bald head.
Okay, safe to assume what that stands for.
Also the Zenerim.
Why are they rebranding?
That's what they're fighting over.
Yormik was here. Guys, that eye like totally matched the one from the bar. Just you guys notice that?
As you guys kind of take a turn back down this other alley away from the crime scene, there's a shop that none of you guys have really seen before. It kind of exists in the shadows as the sun blocks out most light from it. But even in this darker alley, you guys can see that it stands out from the others alongside it. It's a very deep purple facade, and in its window there's this stuffed beholder that just hangs and almost looks like it's following your motion down the sidewalk. Above the door, there's a sign and with elaborate letters in gold embossed on this large purple board that just says the Old Zablob Shop.
Is it open?
Doesn't look like there's a lot going on inside, but there are some candles that seem to be lit in the windows.
It's nighttime or evening?
It's the middle of the day. It's just
Oh.
real dark in this alley.
Were we drinking in the... What's wrong with us?
It was the middle of the afternoon.
Drinking a lunch.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Working beer.
Look, Aylin's new in town. We were just
Hanging
getting
out.
together, hanging out.
I'm sure that you had better things to do.
I don't know. It's been a pretty lucrative couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's probably the beer. That's what happened.
Oh.
Aylin's our lucky charm.
I was gonna like try and
That's
get
what.
yeah Durnan to like give me a room for the night for all the help with the troll thing, but hopefully we just find this guy.
That'd be nice. Okay, so we went into an alley to bypass.
Kind of cutting through.
Where? Okay.
Yeah. So you're not you were on like a main street, and now you're just kind of cutting between some buildings to get to the next street over that you were trying to get to.
And in one of these buildings, it was the really dark one with candles and a stuffed beholder in it that we noticed while we were going by.
Extremely purple.
This looks like it could only be good things. We could investigate. Or should we come back to it later? After we found Floon?
Kane will remember this.
Are there any indicators of like a sale or anything?
There are definitely... So it's really kind of strange. You look in the windows, and there are definitely shelves of things that look like they're for sale. With some signs that have different coinage values on them. You see like some chess pieces in this chessboard, but all the squares are painted the same color of purple, and all the pieces are also painted the same color of purple. There's a few like model cabins or carriages that go through the city, all that have been dyed purple. Make an investigation check real quick.
Does it feel like magic?
Make an Arcana check.
15.
You notice small chips and a few of the trinkets that are inside the shop. At the chips, you can see that there's actually deeper, like real colored paint, like different shades of blue and green and red that would resemble something that's actually decent looking, and they have all been coated in whatever this other purple paint is. What's yours?
19.
19. If it's magical, it is being used to get someone very high to do this. It's not. It doesn't feel like there's any essence coming from the door or anything like that.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
This guy really likes purple.
Yeah, I once heard about this group of women that just like one day a month they just all like wear purple, or was it pink? I don't remember. It's like totally a thing in real life.
Red Hat Society.
It's something like that.
Red Hat ladies.
But I thought it was like the purple ladies or something
Oh no.
like that, where they
Red
just
hats.
like one day a month they just all just are like cool full pink today or something like that.
Yeah.
I swear it's a thing. I got to Google it now. It's gonna bug me.
Red Hat ladies.
The street ahead of you that you were going on, that you two are pretty confident the skewer dragon is on, it kind of leads up to the actual docks. So you can see the oceans, kind of hear the waves crashing against the docks, just a couple dozen feet ahead.
Let's come back here. This seems interesting. But if we lose the trail of this guy, then it kind of sucks for us.
Fair.
Yeah, especially with all the random fights going on lately.
Yeah, I'd rather not get caught in one of those in this dodgy alley with this creepy purple
Or find
shop.
Floon after he gets caught in a...
Oh yeah, yeah, him too. We definitely want to find him beforehand. That it is a concern.
We
Yes.
will continue passing
Okay.
through this alley.
You guys continue moving forward and onto the next street, which is that final one. That you guys now get the full smell of seawater and just mixed into the air as it crashes against ships and into wooden docks along the side of the city that meets the Sea of Swords. Tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the street in shadow, even at ground level. And most of the street lamps, even though it's the middle of the day, you guys can see that they would not be functional. They've had their glass smashed in and the candles have been stolen. Mixed with the salt in the air, there's some excrement as well that lingers as you pass by rows and rows of kind of rundown buildings in the front here. It looks like they've been battered. Some of the windows are boarded up where they're not completely smashed in. And 4 or 5 down, you guys see hanging on a sign that is held up on one side by very thin twine and the other by very rusted chain. It says the Skewered Dragon, and the building looks like a ruin. Both of its front-facing windows are smashed, and a ship's anchor is lodged in the roof, and it does not look like that was on purpose. Through the windows, you can see a group of relatively haggard patrons drinking from tankards that would look like they were pitchers for tables at the Yawning Portal. But as the day goes on, and it's around 4-ish o'clock right now, you can start to see the faintest tinge of orange in the sky as the sun's beginning to set on the day.
Nothing like being in the dodgy part of town, end of the day.
Nothing like the smell of salt and shite on the air.
Got that right.
Well,
Let's go in.
so not that we necessarily would have like patronized the Skewered Dragon before, but like this anchor having kind of destroyed this building is definitely a new feature.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Things are settling around it, but there's definitely fresh wood around it. Rather than try to remove the anchor, it looks like they just kind of sealed it into the ceiling, as it has become the centerpiece. As you kind of open the door, where you would see a chandelier or maybe some kind of lamp with an everlit flame in a upstanding tavern, you just see a rusted, barnacle-covered, still dripping a little bit anchor hanging from the ceiling with no lights attached to it. The few lights that do kind of light up this tavern sit on the tables and a few on the bar and lanterns as patrons that can only be assumed to have come directly off ships for a brief respite before setting sail again are drinking pretty quietly. A few of them eyeing each other over a game of cards, and several more drinking at the bar. As you guys kind of open the door, the light filters in a little bit more around the windows, and you guys see a few faces look back at you as the door swings closed and the light goes dim again. And after a moment, they all return to their business.
Yeah, after everybody sort of gets over us walking in the door, I'm just gonna sort of mutter to these guys that I'm just like, I'll go check out this table. You guys see what the bartender knows.
I'll find the bartender.
Okay. Not too hard to do. She is a very sturdy-looking human. One eye perpetually closed. Very sun-bleached blonde hair. It looks pretty matted down. What can I get you?
How much for what they're having?
It looks over. Well, how much you got? I'm just kidding. Be a silver.
Is there anything better than what they're having?
Kind of reaches down under the table, pulls out. Looks like moonshine.
Oh.
Been making this for years.
Guess depends what you mean by better.
Sure.
You want this?
I mean, some of it, yeah.
All right. Put 2 silver down. Just gets a small copper mug. Just pours it over. And like where you'd expect a liquor pour to stop, it just keeps going until it's like a full, nearly brimming glass of this stuff. Start you out with something small. Slides it over to you.
Oh, certainly. This is just my first.
I'm waiting for it to just be salt water.
Take a like sip of it.
This is definitely whiskey or gin made with water from the dock ward. There's a hefty amount of salt in it and a few flavors you aren't going to guess to where they originated. Go ahead and make a constitution saving throw for me.
Salt and shite.
11.
You got...
That is just too good.
You know, that's more than most drink in here. You're all right. She slides one of the silver back across to you.
Thank you so much. You're far too kind.
What's your name?
Me. I'm Zarias Casanova. What's your name?
Madge.
Medj? Tell me, Medj, has any... I find it interesting. Has any, like, sort of pompous, hoity-toity, strangely dressed, like, men ordered the same drink in here, or I assume not, but have you seen anybody of that description? It seems like there's a very distinct person that was here at some point.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That's a great description. Can't get around.
That's really great.
Pompous hoity-toity. Ordering
12.
probably this.
12.
Looks like he shops at like Target instead of Walmart.
You know, I remember one or two the other night.
That would make sense. Two of them would definitely make... Did one of them leave early? The more annoying one.
Oh, yeah, there was another one. He left a while before another much richer kid showed up. Punk-ass bitch.
Really?
Wouldn't even try a little bit of the drink.
Well, what a coward.
Looked like looked like the two of them could have been brothers. With kind of strawberry blonde hair. Way too nice to be out on ships.
Interesting. And did they conversed with that other hoity-toity...
The floppy hat guy.
Yes, the floppy hat guy.
Floppy hat guy left early. Only talked with the one of them.
Okay, pearly guy.
Pearly guy. Yeah, suppose. Oh yeah, the pearl. Yeah, he stayed. Another guy looked just like him showed up afterward.
Were they dressed the same too?
Pretty similar. Not exactly. I don't think they planned it or anything.
Interesting. And I'll slide the one silver that she slid back to me. And do they have any interesting things to say, or when exactly did the first one leave?
Go ahead and make another persuasion check with advantage.
Oh,
That's how you can literally buy advantage in this game.
Yeah.
22.
22?
I have a question for you. Here's 10 gold.
Yeah. Don't know who the one with the pearls was. Real tight about his name. The other one was Rainier Neverember. Son of the no-good previous open lord. Good riddance to him. Stayed around here for quite a while. Don't really know what they were doing, but looked like they didn't have a whole lot of friends in here. Stayed around drinking quite a bit longer. What did you roll?
22.
They headed out way past dark. Maybe 11 o'clock, close to midnight. About 5 guys headed out after him. All of them, well, one of them that I could see, the scarf fell down a little bit too far. And he had this black snake tattooed around his neck. Turned left out the door over there. That's about as much as I know.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for this information. And more importantly, excellent drink. Keep up the good work.
Do what I can. Thinking of bottling it.
Yeah.
You all drinking here, or are they just standing around in the middle?
I look over. If you two are with me, I'm like, would you like some?
Sorry, I was writing notes. Did she offer us to take some to go, or did she want us to pour a drink? That's the first thing.
She's wondering if you're looking to buy anything.
I'm afraid just waiting for the right coin to come in. Maybe then I can afford it.
Make a deception check.
Much better than my last one. 23.
Nick those clothes off of somebody.
Don't mind, thank you very much. I worked hard for these.
Figured somebody with that would have some coin, but seems
Not
like you
that
don't.
nice.
You looked around here.
You think I look good? Yes, this is nice.
I look pretty good.
All right. Well, pretty good for myself then.
All right. Well, you can have some of his.
I definitely will do that.
Slide it to him eagerly with a smile.
Thanks. I take it. Cast prestidigitation to make it taste like cherries.
Make a Constitution save with advantage.
Oh.
Okay.
14.
14.
Advantage, though.
You
Oh, sorry. 17.
17? You get it down, no problem.
Or 16, I guess.
Just kind of take a nice, healthy chug. Set it back down. The glass is about half empty now.
That was nothing. I cast prestidigitation again and make it taste like turnips.
Really? And she grabs it back real quick and goes to taste it. I don't know about that. Thought I had it there.
It was intended for him, but okay.
She heard somebody say it tasted good. That's the first time she heard it.
You're joking.
I just really like my veggies, you know? As a kid, just couldn't eat enough of them.
Weird.
There's a dog in here.
Some dogs in the obscure dragons.
Alright.
I appreciate
So,
those animal friendly.
Once we finish that up, since he got through half of it, and I'll force you to... attempt to,
Oh, no,
be
thank you.
pushy. I'll attempt to be pushy, and then I'll be like... And I'll take the rest of it.
The rest of it? Okay. Make another Constitution save. It's a little easier. You know what you're expecting.
17.
17. You finish it, just...
It still tastes like turnips.
Yeah, you power through it, able to get through without coughing, but you make it. Few of the guys
Face
that-
goes... And then I just pop back up with a smile where I was like...
A few guys at the
delightful.
table next to you kind of banging on the table, laughing at your direction a little bit.
I point
Raise
over at
glasses,
them.
yeah.
I point over at them, give them a wink.
There you go.
And then, you can go over to what my brother was trying to do.
My character's way better than I am.
What are you looking to do?
Oh no! So I went to the table where they were gambling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm basically just gonna sort of slide in and
Sure.
sit down between hands, and then I'm just gonna lose a few hands in a row.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna ask sort of a similar line of questioning, in regards to there was a
Sure.
odd-looking fellow in here
How much gold do you
the
give
day
up
before.
in the losses?
Probably just 2, nothing crazy. But
Okay.
that's not a half decent amount.
2 gold is solid enough that they're definitely glad you sat down after you started losing it. Assuming you ask about, so you're asking about, have you seen any kids here that didn't look like they belonged, maybe, and that kind of line of questioning. There's this kid, some noble, just likes to rub our faces in the fact that he can come here and drink whatever he wants, and buy all the good liquor before we have to drink Madge's Madness, and took all our money in the game. It's ridiculous.
Noble.
Well, looked like one. Yeah.
Did you get his name?
One of them said Floon, and the other one said Rainier. Don't know much about him.
They played together here? Just deep on the other hand or something?
Rainier was the one playing the most. We kicked Volo out of here quite a while ago. Volo was here too. I'm sure Sure you've met him.
Yeah, I've heard of him, all right.
Well, he lost all his money. Hope the same doesn't happen to you. And left kind of early. Rainier came in. Seemed like he was talking to Floon. A couple guys at our table. Watching them a little bit more than the game, though.
Any particular reason why?
Not that they told us, but you get the idea. On the ship, you'd learn how to watch your back, make sure nobody's looking to backstab you. And about 5 of them, all at different angles, looked like they knew where they were going to be. Just watching for their opportunity. Kept buying them drinks. Got them nice and sauced up. Wouldn't want to be them walking out. Seemed to get followed.
You know what time they left?
Close to midnight last night.
Interesting. How do you know that? Where's the clock in there?
I have the keen mind feed. And
Everybody has that. It's incredible. With a sundial wristwatch.
there you go. Shield surfing is real big here.
I hear.
Emerging sport.
So then before I go, I want to basically try and go double or nothing. But
Okay.
then I've definitely like lost 2 gold at this point.
Sure.
But basically just want to like bet 2 gold to see if I can win it back.
Okay. Let's see here. Are you trying to?
I'm rather proficient at these games.
I was say, are you trying to cheat at all, or just go straight up?
I guess it depends what my hand looks like. If I think I need to cheat.
Quick blackjack one.
You guys are playing kind of a modified version of poker, where you start with 3 cards. You draw very solid, like pair of queens and a 9. It's pretty close.
10s and a 5.
Yeah. You feel pretty confident about it. You throw the 2 gold down. First 2 cards come up to make up the hand. 2 jacks.
Yeah.
Round kind of goes by. Check over to you.
After the jacks come up, I'll raise up to the 2 gold at that point.
Okay. Big spender, huh? Tosses in the gold. Last 2 cards come down. This time it's a 9 and an ace.
I'll hold.
Hold.
I can draw at random. What is it?
At the end of the betting, they turn over their cards. You end up with queens, kings, and an ace. Or queens, jacks, and an ace. Splitting evenly with the gentleman you've been talking to the whole time. You guys both take off 3 gold out of the pot, which had accumulated.
Yeah, all right. So I got one of my 2 gold back.
Yeah. Worth it. What is your name?
Kane Casanova of Casanova Couriers. You might have heard of me and my brother's business.
A few times. If you're looking to get into the shipments, let us know.
Oh no, we're much more local deliveries, but I appreciate it.
Underlight shoves off next week.
Underlight shoves off. Beautiful ship, ain't it?
Gorgeous.
I should.
You gents here every day?
As often as we can, while we're not sailing.
Okay. Well, when do you shove off?
About 10 day.
10 day. All right. Well, sorry. What was your name again? Sai. Good to meet you.
Just call me Joan.
Joan. All right. Well, expect me back at your table at least once more before you shove off. Have a good day, folks.
Will do.
With 3 hands, ask a bunch of questions and leave.
Played more than 3 hands, but yeah.
Yeah, quite a few.
I mean, the rounds go pretty quick.
Doubled him up, asking through the questions, playing back and forth while you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the patrons continue on. A few of them walk in and out, but nothing crazy.
Do I notice anybody who's kind of got like their skin like wrapped up to like hide stuff in there, or anybody who just straight up has a tattoo I can see in there?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oof. City. 6.
So plenty of tattoos for sure, but not any that match the ones you've seen so far that are kind of interest, like more the ones that you just see on sailors, women, mermaids, treasure chests, things of that nature. And as far as actually, in this case, a lot of them are just shirtless, very tanned, almost leather-like skin from being out on ships for so long. But you don't notice anything that would make you recall the scene you saw around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Volo isn't any sort of nobility, right?
He is not.
Good to know.
Just notoriety.
Yeah. He's a little bit of a celebrity. Like,
yeah, I mean, if someone were to disguise themselves as him, it wouldn't be against the law.
You have said a
Technically.
factual statement, sir.
the act of disguising is definitely not illegal. You would not be under the same persecution as impersonating a noble lord or official.
Yeah,
Yeah.
marvelous.
Seems
Just
reasonable.
Totally
verifying that with the keeper of the law over
Yeah,
there.
of course.
Yeah. So I'll get up and head out.
Hey, if you're looking for him, they followed him out to the left.
To the left.
Is that towards the water?
So the street is kind of perpendicular, like you're on the shore essentially.
Okay.
So it's just down further south, actually, towards the opposite end of the city.
And we came from. The
So you
north.
guys kind of came from, yeah, here, I'll show you a little bit of the map. So you guys started at the Yawning Portal, right here, just kind of right between the Trade Ward and the Dock Ward, and then walked all the way down right over to Mist Shore,
very westward.
all the way down here. Yeah, very far west, like several blocks. Took you about 20 or 30 minutes to get all the way over there between city traffic and kind of keeping an eye out and being stopped by the city guard and told to kind of turn around. Dodged through a little alley and then came back around. And after your conversations, not trying to rush conversation too much, it's solidly around 5:30. Definitely starting to get a little bit darker out. You can see the very few torches and street lamps that are lit are providing some light, but it's going to get dark here pretty soon.
Gotcha.
How well known is Raynar Neverember?
Make a history check.
Because I heard Noble and
Yeah.
Raynar,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I
You
personally
two, yeah,
live-
go ahead and make a history check. You two special. You didn't live in Waterdeep before this.
Nope.
No.
12.
Where did you live before this?
You also make a history check.
Elven City near Silver Moon.
Okay. I think we're just gonna walk by there. Another campaign.
Just all the way.
That's crazy.
12?
It's like
So
on the
12, what was yours?
12.
12?
21.
21, okay. So you two, for sure, know that a guy by the name of Dagult Neverember used to be the open lord of Waterdeep, so essentially the king of the largest city in Faerun. You know that he was ousted pretty recently by vote of the Masked Lords. He said that he stepped down voluntarily, but it was definitely forceful.
Yep.
He is not...
Here, we've drafted your resignation for you.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of controversy surrounding how they handled the War of the Silver Marches, like the orc attacks that had gone through, and how he kind of squandered some taxpayer money, and is not well respected. The family is still nobility. They've been around Waterdeep forever, so the name still carries a lot of weight, but not nearly as much respect as it would have even 10, 15 years ago. The current Open Lord is Laerel Silverhand, who you guys have at least heard the name of for sure. Very prominent figure. You guys know what she looks like. She's got this long silver hair that almost seems to move on its own.
What's her race?
Human. She's about 6.5 feet tall and is extremely elegant and almost like dainty human. She very piercing white and gold eyes. Interesting person. There's definitely more to her than you guys know, but it feels right having her in the seat of power. But
She is the current Open Lord?
yes, current Open Lord of Waterdeep. And you guys are at least a little bit familiar with who the Masked Lords are. They're basically the Senate, but no one knows who's on the Senate.
Seems totally uncorruptible and
Super. Yeah.
seems great.
This is just like fully realized capitalism.
Basically.
And then it's Waterdeep.
Right. The Neverembers, though, that you guys aren't surprised hearing that name, and especially are less surprised that people would be upset that he's in a place like this where the people that paid more taxes because this guy screwed the city out of it are drinking and have had their business impacted, and especially since he's essentially just living like crazy. Kane, with that role, you'd know that the relation is most likely of a nephew or cousin of Daggle,
Okay.
given his age and kind of the descriptions that you heard so far.
Okay. Yeah, so then as we all get outside, sort of compare notes.
I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Those guys were hired to protect him, and some other people came out of nowhere and ganged up on him. I mean,
Are you new here too?
Quill is so funny.
Man, I think you're like the third funniest now.
I know. I've never been in this position before. It's actually quite nice. There's like, I don't feel that pressure. It's great. It's liberating.
why am I funny?
Oh, Quill. So, is left further in toward the city?
It's still along, like, you guys are basically on the shore. This
Yeah.
is like one of the first taverns, so you'd be
Yep.
walking along the docks further south.
And that's away from the
South.
crime scene?
Yes.
Okay.
It is away from the crime scene.
Yeah, then we'll head out.
Okay.
Start heading left. Yeah, whichever way left is from the door.
For sure.
What time is it?
It's around 5:30, close to 6 maybe, after you guys kind of converse. Evening. You guys notice that there are, all of a sudden, a few more guard patrols out on this particular street. You can kind of hear.
I did remember reading this in the
Yeah.
guide.
There you go. There are.
The docks are more heavily guarded.
They are more heavily guarded, especially in the evening. There seem to
Yeah.
be quite a few more patrols going around. They look like they're looking out a little bit more often than usual, given the scene that unfolded earlier as well.
So we sort of have to cross path with.
You'll just walk
One or more of
past
these
them.
guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
like they're not blocking paths or anything. They're just kind of making sure peace is being kept and maintained.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep heading that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll mention that about Renar and Floon, and they were drinking together. Volo left because he lost all his money gambling. And then that there were some people that were buying drinks for Floon and Renar, and we're looking to get them a little overly inebriated.
And we'll one
And
up.
followed them out this way.
And we'll one up you and be like, oh yeah, we also found out that they had a flying serpent tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So probably Zener.
There are also, just as you guys are kind of on the docks, there are kind of the final unboarding, like finishing up, moving cargo off the ship. So there's still a fair number of like dock hands around, and getting frustrated with you if you stand in their way, but otherwise kind of leaving you alone for the most part.
Do we have, between the two of us, does either of us have any sort of Zenerim contact?
None that are repeat offenders.
Okay.
You've definitely taken jobs
Yes.
like low key, like petty theft, typically like
Yeah.
lower jobs. But the contacts you've had have changed every time.
Yep.
Usually they approach you rather than you go to someone
Yeah,
specifically.
makes sense.
Yeah. So you guys are just kind of walking down a little bit.
Make
we're-
our way downtown.
Yeah, we're going left the way that
Okay.
they did, and trying to keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary, maybe that indicated a scuffle or something of that sort. Especially looking for like any pearls or anything that could have ended up on the ground.
Make a perception check. Yeah, two of you guys are
Oof, city, man.
yikes.
7.
Okay. You wander kind of back and forth for a while, maybe an hour to an hour and a half, just kind of looking for anything. And as you kind of reach the end of that hour and a half, and having found nothing, going kind of tracing back and forth, you hear some snickers from a few dock hands as you guys
Yeah.
are kind of just looking at the ground, wondering what you're just walking back and forth for. But you don't really find anything after that time. A few of them call, "What you looking for?"
I'll definitely walk up to one of them. Glad you asked.
I'm sorry I did.
Oh, you won't be.
Not yet,
don't
you
worry.
are.
So, were you guys working here yesterday evening? It was yesterday evening. That's what they said.
Like midnight.
Yesterday, as well.
Yeah, through about this time last night.
Does anybody stick around past that time, or is it mostly just the guards?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oof, city again. 11.
11. Few. Nobody I want to run into specifically, but definitely a few. They hang out here and there. A couple getting drunk. A couple roughing people like you guys up.
That's funny. You're funny.
Your rounds tonight are on me if you can point us in the direction of any of these fine late shift folk. Flick a gold over to them.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
I look over and I'm like, really? That high? Gold.
Thank God for advantage, because the second one was a 1. Persuasion?
Yeah.
20.
20.
Natural 20.
Kind of. You guys passed it a couple times, but about 8 buildings down that way. There's a warehouse. People seem to be going in and out of. Snakes by the looks of them. I'd check there. Unless you're looking for women, because they're not. That's...
No. This is...
Sorry, I didn't want to misjudge
not
what you were
that sort
asking
of searching.
for. Okay.
Appreciate the clarity, though. Appreciate it. You enjoy.
For this kind of coin, I'll tell you anything you want.
What's your biggest fear?
The sea.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, I'm working on it, alright?
I was just saying, it's like, wait, are you just a dockhand, or do you like go on the ships too?
He is like he's part of the ship crew, based on his attire.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
Jesus.
Ship.
Do you have any
All right.
idea what's going on in those warehouses, or just that people are going in and
We're
out?
just going in. I don't ask questions. Sometimes these boxes bark.
They going in.
I don't...
What about... What about...
I'm just here to pick them up. I'm just here to move boxes from the ship to the dock.
So let's say that while you're moving these boxes, some really pompous-looking guy with pearls and... There's nothing else to describe him as except pompous. Perhaps he might have gone into said warehouse?
Unwillingly?
Or willingly. Who knows? We don't judge.
He'd better have a good reason for going in there. Beautiful city. Not really right here. You guys look like you can handle yourselves. You're walking in groups. That's all well and good. You guys investigate what you want. Tell the guards if you want. But if you got something going on, I wouldn't go in there alone.
Split the party. So
I'll go.
So you say you're a dock worker? Yeah.
No, on the ship.
A
few different ships.
So you work with specific ships.
Yeah, whoever's paying more.
All right, and you just load cargo, or you actually go out to sea?
I mean, I sail and I load the cargo, and then I stay with it, and then I unload it over there.
So when you guys dock, do you guys do the unloading? Do you pay someone else to do the unloading?
We unload it.
Damn. All right, good to know.
Yeah, that's what they pay me for.
Is there any Zentrum faction specific vernacular that I would know? Like, are there like bosses or people in charge called anything special?
Respectable.
Well, no,
No.
I've got the game
I'm
plan.
having to check.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Short answer is yes.
Okay. While you looked it up,
Yes.
I'm going to talk about the plan that I have with you guys, and we can make a delivery
I mean,
to-
we are
to that location.
pretty good at that.
I mean, it's a pretty good cover story given that it is literally what we do for a living.
Yeah.
To who is it addressed?
The head snake of this particular facility.
The enter name here.
Right. This is why I was curious, so that I could go to the door and be like, "Hey, I know what your boss is called. This is for him." And
All right.
So, real quick, you would know that the people that you've worked with on some of these jobs are fangs, kind of entries. The people you get the jobs from are wolves.
Okay.
Now, what if we were to track down one of the people we saw leaving the warehouse? Hopefully not someone that's a snake, and ask them what kind of business goes on inside.
I think that's probably a pretty good way to either get the cold shoulder or to alert them that we're... or just straight up tell them that we're onto them.
Also, to be honest, I don't think many people who aren't snakes are going into that warehouse and coming out.
Oh, so you think it's all central?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they
Seems
socialize with a lot of people outside of their own.
Well, I thought maybe it was like an underground cockfighting ring, or it was illegal
That's a very different part of town.
illegal gambling. Who knows? Something that the Zeterum runs, not necessarily purely for their own members. But who knows?
Okay. So...
what are we delivering?
Well, I was thinking maybe you could whip up one of your special messages that you use your magical notary skills for.
I mean, I could.
I don't know. We could make it sound anything like a riddler speaking in code. And I mean, if they ask, then it was an anonymous job.
Do you want us to wait outside, or
Yeah.
cover the exits?
Just make sure we come out.
You could deliver
Sounds like that would
us
be
in
easier
a
to-
box, and then if anything happens,
I'm
we-
sorry, but you might not have seen how not strong I am. I do a lot of things well. Carrying
It'd
things.
be like the pushing type of box.
All right,
Still
sorry.
might
So
be
you
a
said
little rough
the jobs came from
Fangs.
Fangs.
Sorry, jobs came
Wolves.
from wolves. You worked with fangs.
Okay,
Fangs are lower than
Okay.
wolves.
peons.
gotcha.
Yeah, basically. Think of
You
it
could
as
just
like a level
put a
1
snake tattoo on your
developer.
neck and be like, "I'm one of you."
I've made deliveries to you before. Here's my
Yeah,
tattoo.
there you go.
Join the club.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, what if we get a really big crate,
Mm-hmm.
deliver these two, so that they're in there? With
Are
us?
you pushing?
I mean,
I'm not pushing.
together. We can get a wheeled cart.
It's still heavy.
I can get
All right,
some of those.
fine.
A wheeled cart.
Yeah, I have one.
You just have a wheeled cart.
I mean, not with me. I had to go get it.
He does have a weird
just like strapped to your back for no reason right now.
No, he's scootering.
He's been the whole time just...
I try not to walk anywhere if
My
I
car's
can
home as
help
an Uber driver. All right, leave me alone.
I mean, we can do that if our intent is to have the box be opened
I was
and
gonna
then
say
find them
that
and
is
be like, "Hi."
that is the problem. Is we
It's
we
a
really
little
just want to
awkward.
do recon. We don't actually want to pick a fight with the Zens, especially if we're not, especially if we're planning on not killing literally everyone in there. Obviously, I'm saying this discreetly and
Yeah.
hopefully not standing near any guards when we're having this
No,
conversation.
I mean, you guys are talking enough. You're kind of standing against some boxes outside. Guards that pass by give you a look, but they're not walking too close. You guys are dressed nicer than most of the people who are in here, and they don't really think they have to worry about you too much, from what you can tell.
I think they'd let a member of WOMP in if they were on official business.
Excuse me.
No.
WOMP. It's the local mages guild. It's the Wizarding Order of Mages and Protectors.
Watchful Order of magisters and
Magical
protocols or
protectors.
something. I think.
The P's definitely
Watchful
protectors.
order of
Magical
magists
city
and
watch?
protectors.
Just call them
Basically, yeah.
They're wizard.
Yeah, just call
Are
'em
you
Womp.
part of Womp?
Sure.
They're wizard cops.
No. I'm not.
Okay.
But he could be
Okay.
temporarily.
We could make them believe, but we gotta be careful because impersonating someone like that. Not that I would ever do that. Let's
I don't feel like the Ents are going to tattle on you.
probably not.
Let's.
That's a valid point.
Let's do this. Let's make that fake note, bring it to them, and we'll have it say. The message can just be something that's saying, "Delivery coming soon. Be ready." Like something along those lines. Something easy that could indicate that second delivery is coming along. And if we see something that would indicate we want to send our brave friends, just the two of them, not us, in to see,
I know what the plan. That's what I'm saying.
we have that available to us.
Really
I think I like the scouting plan at the very least, and that we'll have a note, and we can say for Wolves' Eyes only, or to be delivered to Wolves' Eyes only,
Yeah.
to get us in the door. Have a look around. We can have it say that message.
Is it a 1 story, a 2 story? Is there windows?
Are you guys
there
moving down to
doors?
kind of check it out a little bit?
Can we do a casual stroll
yeah,
around
we'll
the block?
walk by just
Sure.
to do a very quick casing
Yeah.
of the joint.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you guys head down. Make an investigation check. 2 of you guys or 1 with advantage.
Go ahead. How many wide can walk in the street?
You guys can
Is
all.
it an alley or is it
No,
a
this
street?
is a street.
Okay.
Street. Like this is where people unload ships.
Alright.
I'm gonna let myself fall behind.
15.
15.
I rolled,
You rolled
with
with
advantage.
advantage.
Nice. You're gonna fall behind a little bit.
Just behind them, and I'm gonna change my appearance so that I'm like long, blonde, shaggy, like really long beard,
Raggy.
kind of not so don't look quite as nice. And as I said, like, so don't be alarmed, guys. I'm just gonna look a little different.
Turn on.
Is like the construction of your face different, or just your
A little
outfit?
bit. Like my bone structure's a little bit different. It's just different enough that you would never confuse me with the same person I was before.
Is this like distinctly magic-y?
I think so.
If you were watching me, you would look magic-y, yes.
So I was walking, and then you came up behind, like, oh dear.
Yeah, you're like,
Something
I
different.
fell behind, let myself
Yeah.
transform, and then like, just don't freak out, guys, but I look different now. And
This is the
Have
thing
you
you do
ever-
often.
Have you done this
It's
anytime? When we've seen you at separate occasions, have you always looked like that other one, or have you looked slightly different
I
each
don't
time?
remember.
We're gonna say you've always looked like what you've looked like.
I mean, I reuse faces, but
Is this your face?
Sure, no, it's not.
Was the other one your face?
No, that was not my
Oh
face.
dear, I'd like to see that sometime.
Great. Great. Yeah.
I will probably disappoint you.
Yeah. I just
That
don't
was
want.
not very
I just
nice.
don't want to get into the Zenerum, and it's happening. I hope it doesn't, and have them know what it
They'll be
looks
pissed with
like.
this guy. Oh,
Exactly.
that's wise.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
okay.
this guy, not my normal guy.
Yeah.
Different guy. This is my scapegoat guy.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. With your 15, you guys head down. So there's a few buildings you see that look kind of either like they were taverns or are still very humble homes. Wrecked, but in better condition than the Skewered Dragon for sure. But nowhere you guys would want to find yourselves in the evening. You head down and you see what is distinctly a differently shaped and structured building, about 40 feet wide. Actually, I think a bit wider than that, maybe. About 75 feet wide. Overall, there's a structure that kind of hangs out almost like an enclosed balcony that has a very large window that is painted black from the inside.
Okay.
It's about 12 feet off the ground and kind of on supports that are angled back in, and where the angled supports are back in, it's just a brick building. But the warehouse is kind of built on a slope that goes back towards, like, into the city. And there's a small path around the far side. So if you guys keep walking, like, left down the road, you would come to a small path that leads down, and you can see a gate there and a small door as well that leads into a yard almost. And there's a very, very large, like, loading bay door, about 25 feet wide, and then another small, like, man door next to it.
Okay. You writing all this down?
So just a thought about the
should
note
agree.
thing.
Do what?
What if the note thing? Just a thought. What if it was offering a reward for a fairly? I mean, obviously this would not be a real reward, but it was a reward for information regarding this guy we're out looking for. Maybe that would be something that warrants going to whoever's in charge, and maybe they'd be interested in fulfilling that order for their own personal gain. Who knows? And if they seem interested, maybe they give us a clue.
But if the Zents were after this guy,
Well, maybe.
they already took him for their own personal gain.
Maybe, but maybe we'd also get a reaction out of them if they know that's the guy that we're looking for.
With a violent.
Now we're not, of course, we're not looking for him. We don't care. We're just you guys are just the messengers. Mr. Daddy's looking for his nephew or whatever.
What's his name still in the city?
Daggold Neverember?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, you guys will also know. He is now the king of Neverwinter, I believe, whatever their highest station is. He went there and is in works to rebuild the city. But he basically went over there and took the throne.
All right then.
Huh.
Sorry, you guys definitely would know that based on the
well,
rules.
kind of,
And
there's
it's
a little bit of a wrench in my plan. His aunt's looking for him.
Close family relation. Something.
You know what? Just can't. He's not in town.
I knew that. I knew there was a problem with this plan.
I was really confused with the bird for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our message is from, or is intended for, Flume.
That's what kind of thing I'm talking about.
And so I get it, but who sent the message to Flume? And if Flume came here on his own, that's fine. But if they kidnapped Flume to bring him here, why do we know that Flume is here and we're bringing a letter for Flume here?
We don't know. We're just inquiring.
We were paid enough to not ask.
A kind of like unrelated question, and just go in and have a look around. I feel like if we poke around about missing persons, we're gonna arouse too
That
much
definitely
suspicion.
tips our hand a little early.
Yes.
Whereas if we're just like, there's a package and stuff, and you can see what it looks like in there. And maybe bribe one of the lower levels to talk.
Okay. Yeah, so let's
Kidnap him.
Let's make a note. Let's make a note
I'll
that
split it up.
is for wolves' eyes only. And
Is that our wolves?
we need something.
Snakes and wolves and fangs and
Oh
things.
my.
We need something that's like kind of vaguely code-ish sounding, but really doesn't mean anything.
The eagle flies at midnight.
The eagle flies at midnight.
We'll never know.
Winter is coming.
The duck is in the kitchen. The goose is in the factory. The chicken's in the pond. What is all this quackery? What?
Hop on pop.
So your guys' plan is to leave a note, like push it under the door, essentially?
No, we were gonna courier
Deliver the note.
deliver
Yeah.
a note.
Okay.
Probably best that it's just one of us and not both of us.
Do we usually come together?
Probably not.
Both.
Probably not for like delivering a letter. It's literally like a note.
Maybe you
Yeah.
could wait at the door and you could go in and we could be at the alternate exit. So you're close by because this is kind of a dodgy place.
That's fair.
And
You
we're
want
out
to
of
go or you want me
sight.
to go? What do you want to do? What are we doing here? Draw lots? Flip a coin? You might cheat, but we could draw cards.
High card goes in.
Shh. Yeah. You didn't even let me choose my own destiny.
Oh!
You're going in.
All right. With that,
Exhilarating.
we're going to take a quick break
Okay.
as I need to draw something. So we'll be back in just a moment with the exciting adventures of...
This group of people.
The Casanova brothers
The
and
overlay.
friends.
We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back to Runtime Initiative, where we pick up with our as of yet unnamed, super close, very tight group of adventurers and not shady people as they peruse the dockboard, deciding on
You just took a shot at me.
delivering a letter via courier to this warehouse that they had been tipped off by dock hands and gambling partners at the Skewered Dragon might be a good place to interrogate some Zenerim. We see our group standing kind of on the street looking down at a yard below, which I forgot to draw in that time. The yard, okay, so this is the kind of lower area, that large green thing. So the gate that encloses the yard connects around that L. So it makes one big square. Yeah, right there. There's a small fence that goes all the way kind of around it.
Yeah, it goes like that.
Yeah. There's a small fence that goes around it with like a wrought iron gate that seems to have swung open based on, all the way down to there.
Where's your gate at in it?
Across from the man door.
So here?
So
Yeah.
like,
It's a little bit, it's
Man
twice
door.
as wide though.
so like these.
Those two, yeah.
That's the gate. It's swung open.
It's like here.
This is the man door. That's
Yeah.
twice as wide, so it's like here.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And the yard extends beyond that. The other large green line right there is a very large, which we'll switch to the battle cam in a second if they fight anything. It's a very large, like, sliding door. So it would, as you guys walk down the path, kind of on the, like, directly in the line where Stefan's mini is, there's a small cobblestone path that leads to that larger gate. The door and the sliding door are both closed, and the window, that's that blue line right there on the inside, is painted over black, just like the one that was on the second story over the street was.
Okay.
Just, I can't tell the different colors. It all looks like the same.
Yeah, no, I know. Highlight them however you need to.
Okay, game plan.
I bring the letter. I knock on the door. I say wolf size only.
Okay.
And
Which door you knock on this one? The door?
whatever the
Is the front door over here in the yard?
Yeah, that's the first door you've
Okay.
seen.
And then are there no other entrances? You can't go to the back of the building?
So, if you take a second to look around, there are no other entrances on the very back or the other side.
So this is what I'll ask. When I don't know if we can backtrack to the dude, the dock guy, but asking him what door people usually are going in and out of.
He said they just kind of disappear. You would have said they disappeared around the corner.
Okay, so then definitely we'd go around back.
Yeah.
Or I'd go around back.
Yeah. So you're going alone. Let's throw some minis out
So,
there. for a
okay,
second
and
for
so
your
the way I was thinking of actually doing this is sort of if we both I don't know. Do you think it's better for you to show up alone, go in alone, or both of us show up and you go in alone and I like wait outside and
That-
come back?
I like
Probably.
that.
Yeah, that seems like a
Well, I feel like
reasonable thing that we might do for like liability purposes for ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's not just like, oh yeah, cool, my brother
well,
disappeared.
so when we know
Who
it's
knows what happened?
a Zenerim contract or
Mhm.
any other dodgy contracts, it's like, let's do the buddy system.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll do that so that at the very least, if it becomes necessary, I can run and find you guys.
And where will we be?
In a box, I think.
Down street, around the corner, nearby, by a bush. Is there
What else is
topiary?
So you're slanting down, right? So by the time you get the yard is kind of on a hill that goes up to the window. Other than that, though, there's buildings on either side. So there's small alleys, kind of buildings that maintain the same kind of space. So the alley's about 15 feet wide on either side.
Does every building in the vicinity look occupied?
Make a perception check.
Is there like a coffee shop that they could wait in conspicuously or something?
It's kind of boho chic, you
It's
know?
real-
You bring your own mug.
Five.
5. The Mule Skull Tavern happens to be the next building over. Looks like it's less occupied than the Skewered Dragon.
We could get a drink because nothing could possibly go wrong.
That sounds good. Can we
Yeah.
see this building at all? from next door?
There's a window you can look out to the yard in.
All right.
That's great.
All
We
right.
can signal to them if I message
do that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see it? Do you see it in front of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, before I go.
Yeah, no, everyone's in on the game plan at least.
100%. This is the Zenerim we're dealing
I
with.
was also thinking we could
We're
potentially
professionals.
get a room that had a window facing this way, but if the bar is just as good if it has a window in this direction. So. Or this.
This one's just a tavern in
Okay.
this case.
All right, let's get a drink.
So we'll get a drink and a window seat if
Okay.
that's available.
Sure.
The windows.
You head in.
Duh.
There are more people eating here than there were just drinking at the Skewered Dragon, but it looks like very tired folk. A little bit more upscale than Skewered Dragon, though. There's not an anchor penetrating the ceiling, which is good as
Great.
it keeps the building stable. But they offer you food if you want any, and drink as well for about 5 copper apiece.
We'll get an appetizer and a drink.
Can I get some chicken fingers and
Pretzel
cheese,
bites?
like cheese curds?
2 birds that can't fly and a cow's farts coming up.
That is really an appetizing.
There you go.
Cow's farts. Order up.
Okay.
Your food arrives and you guys head in. You guys, I assume, wait for them to kind of be seated near a window before starting to go down the yard. Go ahead and roll perception checks for me, just in general, as you guys are kind of watching this go down. You as well, Stefan.
9.
9.
9.
11?
Yep.
Okay. 2 of you also make perception checks as you guys kind of approach. Are you going in the gate, kind of just approaching the yard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are we not? We're not going in this door now?
That's not a door.
No.
Oh.
That's
Also, this is where they see
Andor.
people always going.
Oh.
So
sorry.
All right. No,
That's
it's
what we're
okay.
doing.
I kind of missed the audible, but that is all right.
that's where we're going.
This plan makes sense.
12.
12?
On perception, yes.
Does this window open at all? The one by the bar?
There is a door leading kind of back out towards the yard area from where you guys are.
The window does not open.
Yes, I do. We will check out where they are as they prepare. Yeah. Point it up a little bit, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you guys would be inside that kind of green line as you head in. And Kevin, also make a perception check.
Use them eyes. You use them.
17.
17. Okay. There's a little bit of like shrubbery inside this yard. It's nothing that is really like functional or even really looks intentional, probably overgrown weeds. But as you guys walk up to the door, being a little bit wary of your current situation, you see what looks kind of like this weird rope lying on top of some of the bushes. And as you look a little bit closer, you see it like move just a tiny bit. And it's a black snake. It's got some wings up kind of by the top of its head.
Wait, so this rope is actually just a fucking snake?
It's a flying snake, in fact.
Okay.
Have we ever had to deal with one of these on the delivery?
I was going to say,
Um,
this feels new.
Make a history check.
Nope, that's not my roll, even though it was amazing. Oh, yours is
21.
21?
not.
Okay. You have seen these used for communication for the Zenerim.
Used, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How might one use a flying snake to communicate?
Needs to be trained. Needs to be alive.
I almost made myself proficient at animal handling, and I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
That's not going to be relevant.
I have a +1.
As you guys investigate a little bit closer, you see that there's actually, about halfway down its body, there's a very short arrow with a black tip that has pierced this thing. And it's any movements at this point, as you observe it anymore, are muscles just kind of contracting as it's been dead for at least a little while.
It did.
Oh.
There's some blood on the leaves around it.
Oh.
So, bro.
This delivery might need to be a little more special than we were thinking.
Yeah, this might
Let 'em
have,
know.
there might be some eyeballs in here. So I'll
Shoot him a message.
message you guys since you're definitely within range and be like, yeah, I think you guys might want to come here.
A knock.
You knock? Okay.
Gonna ask for the pretzels to go. Go across the street.
They asked for payment up front, so you guys are good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
11.
Okay. You knock on the door. You feel just a little bit of give, but the door kind of, you push on it a little bit with your knock to see if it's just unlocked. It does not give very much. It's definitely locked. But you knock, you hear it kind of echo inside. There doesn't sound like there's a lot to absorb the noise. It's just kind of... Wait about 10 seconds, and there doesn't seem to be any response.
Let's just say, I'll wait about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to bust out my thieves' tools and have him cover for me.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Thieves' Tools check.
And I'm looking out for him.
Make a perception check. Dex
18.
18?
Nat 20, yeah.
Okay. Super easily. You just, like this is the most rudimentary lock you've ever seen. It's probably just, basically like sliding a credit card in to slip a locked door. You feel the door give, or the lock give a little bit. You hear the sounds of some, sounds like birds' feet kind of scratching on concrete, but very heavy.
Scuttling.
Yeah, exactly. But just for the briefest of moments as you prepare to walk in. The two of you guys arrive kind of outside this fence at this point as Kane has kind of puts his, you see him put the thieves' tools back away.
I put a hand on his shoulder and I'm like, you hear that? There's a scuttle in there. Doesn't sound human. Or elf. Or dwarf.
Pull a dagger out. Pull another dagger out.
Probably not an orc either.
Y'all ready?
Realistically.
Yep.
All right. I push the door open with my back and sort of turn into the room as we go in.
Okay. Tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor as you walk in. This is an extremely... There is no light in here. There are no torches lit, and all of the windows seem to have been painted over. So whatever small light there is from outside is filtered to almost complete darkness. Along the far wall away
I think
from
we
you...
all have dark vision.
As most
pretty
D&D
sure.
parties go. Just...
Crazy
Why
random
darkness?
happenstance.
Yeah, exactly.
Darkness.
Yeah. What is that? The stench of rotting flesh hits your nose very quickly as you open the door. It's almost kind of sealed in here. There are 12 bodies along the opposite side of the wall. And staring back at you as your eyes adjust to this darkness, one behind the boxes directly in front of you and 3 more behind boxes are on other sides. Are 4 short avian creatures with black feathers, all with short swords or crossbows drawn.
Oh, yeah. That's why you wanted these guys.
That looks a lot like me. Weird.
And with that, we'll roll some initiative.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Oh dear. It's okay, I'm okay with these.
17.
14.
You're okay with these guys?
No, I'm okay at
All right.
initiative rolls, apparently.
Let's get anybody over 20. Okay. 20 to 15.
17.
17.
19 for
less.
I was
19?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless
Thank you.
15 to 10.
14 for me.
Nice. And
5.
not super high.
What? The cleric not going first?
That's crazy.
Unheard of.
Ridiculous.
But with that, we will begin combat with the very ominous-looking Kenku most in front. And as Kane was
Very
the first...
nicely painted.
Very nicely painted. Kane was the first to enter into the building and has drawn some attention to himself. It will charge forward and make a strike at you with its short sword.
That can't go turned out really nicely.
I did a pretty good job on him.
Yeah, you did. 13.
13 does not hit.
So out of nowhere, this kind of black blob kind of just puffs up for a moment and takes a swipe. You just step back and dodge as
I
it
don't know if this is with my arm.
embeds a little bit into the wooden crate next to it. The stacks are usable as cover if you're standing behind, or half cover if you're standing behind them, and close to full cover if you're laying down. They range from 3 to 5 feet tall of stacked boxes.
Like this right here.
Yeah.
If
As the
Crash Bandicoot,
sword-
you can just spin through them all. But
Swipes past you. All you can really see on this floor is a staircase that leads up to the top floor, and then a rope dangling actually right above the crates that the other 2 Kenku are standing behind.
A rope dangling here.
Yeah, that connects to this guy over here. There's a
Okay.
balcony that seems to run with about 5 feet around the outside. The red area is what you could see through on the floor right there.
Sure.
But you see the stairs above. Other than that, this is just kind of a ransacked warehouse. And as you dodge the sword, that comes into focus very quickly. With Quill, we move on to you next.
Ding.
And so I look around the room, kind of take note of these sort of creatures coming at us. Oh, it's so hard to see. And then I'll just sort of like, oops. And I'll sort of like walk around, keep my hand on this wall as if I'm having a hard time knowing where I'm going, which I totally do. I have no idea. And then, oh, you know what? I found my dagger. And then I'm going to throw another ice dagger at this guy.
Go ahead and make your attack.
I had it the whole time. That's good. 16 plus something. 16 plus 5, I think. 21.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
Alright, that is going to be a D10. I need a dex save for both of them.
Whew, from both?
Yeah.
That's not great for them. They rolled 9 and 6. Their dex save, though, is a 13 and a 10.
Well, that's the magic number.
13?
Well, so in the spell, it says dex save 13, which is really weird to me.
Yeah.
But my save is higher.
Ice Knife might be more specific since it's basically just like an exploding object.
It might also, because it's on your character's character sheet, it might insert your...
My spell save DC is higher than that.
Oh,
it
yeah,
is 13. Never mind. My save is 13. I forgot level 1 again.
So how much damage do you do? It's the two far back ones, right?
Yeah.
How much damage do you do to the first one?
3.
3?
I rolled well.
Okay.
And then the one that failed the dex save takes 2d6 as well.
Okay. The one who succeeds does not take any?
Correct.
Okay.
It's not that good of a spell. Oh, I rolled well though on the 2d6. 10 more damage.
Wow. The one farther back, like, so that the ice knife kind of flies through and you see like a tuft of feathers just puff into the air. And it flies another 2 feet behind him and just shatters. And you hear the one behind it just screech in pain as it's still alive. But if you could see it super well, it would not look really good right now.
I can.
Yes, you can. And with that, the Kenku that is closest to Kevin is going to turn, drop his short bow, stay where he's at, back to where he was.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's actually going to take a few more steps towards the other boxes to get a little bit better line with Quill, who has just stabbed his friends.
Did I hit something? I just threw a dagger in the dark.
He's going to pull out his short bow and is going to make an attack against Quill.
I love the routing unit. He was there. And
That is a...
Oh, darn. All of his
13.
movement, right?
Look, man, strafing in real life is
13
not
hits?
as easy as strafing
I think,
in video
Okay.
games.
I'm not wearing any armor.
Curved line.
I think it hits.
There's a 5-foot gap.
That
right?
is
Like you
7 points of piercing
I'm
damage.
unconscious.
Oh, God.
That's a real good roll.
I'm at 0.
Oh,
You guys see, so as you kind of walk along the wall, you hold your hand out, and the explosion draws attention, and then you see true blackness for a moment, at least. Yeah.
Hey guys, do you think this door... Oh!
The one who was attacked by you, seeing you go down, is going to turn its attention towards whoever is using Bryn's Mini as a character.
Me.
It is going to run forward, has a movement speed of 30. Can it reach anyone?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It will make
Perfectly.
an attack against you. That is an 18 to hit.
Yep.
Probably.
6 points of slashing damage as
I am in trouble.
the short sword swings wide. I didn't think that would happen so quickly. You are up next, Lenny.
Okay. Well,
Is that the one that I hurt real bad?
this
No.
is the one that got real.
This one got hurt teeny bit. This one got hit by the dagger. This one got hit by the explosion of ice.
Okay. Well, at least I spent all my spell slots for when unconscious.
So I'll pull up my rapier and be like, well, ow! And go stab this guy.
Stab him? Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
It's just like runs up, stabs you, and you just
Oh, come
stab
on.
him back.
It was there. 10.
10 does not hit. The blow just shocks you as your eyes are still adjusting. It hits you a little bit below the ribs. You reach out, but can't quite make contact.
All right, I'm gonna risk it. Well, first I'm gonna inspire my brother.
Thank God.
Okay. Very nice.
All right, brother, make the Casanova name proud because I couldn't. And I was gonna die.
Kane goes next.
All right,
Well,
thank God.
You're gonna
hold
risk
on.
it?
I'm freaking walking outside
Okay.
if I can make it. I can't take a pot shot. I'll die immediately anyways.
That's 23.
Yeah.
I've rolled 4 18s so far.
Oh my God.
That's 5 points of
Like
slashing
turn to go get
damage.
hit and just like fall in front of the door.
Okay, Kane, it's your turn now.
The real quick party way.
Yeah, pull out the second dagger.
Party wipe.
Turns out 8 HP. If anything hits you once.
And
You hit it twice.
God damn it! And everyone who
I
could
think
be
it-
attacking someone to give me sneak attack is just down.
That's
And I'm not a swashbuckler yet, so this is not helpful.
You're inspired. You're not
I
gonna kill
am
this
inspired.
guy. You're not killing this guy with 2 attacks. Disengage. Pull my body out. Do you have bonus action disengage yet?
Nope.
Didn't
Really?
think so.
second level's cunning action.
I have to look up what an item that I know is in my pocket does.
As you guys are being attacked and attacking back, you hear a myriad of voices that do not make sense coming from these birds. Go get him. No! Like, just weird, like, offsets and sometimes coming from the same source as well, as they seem to be more mimicking sounds they've heard than speaking outright.
Tragically, Alchemist's Fire is not able to hit both of these people at the same time.
Really? Even though
Is it 5 foot range that you can throw it
No, I can throw it up to 20 feet,
Here.
but I don't think it's a 10-foot square of fire that
Is it a
happens. The sticky adhesive ignites when exposed to air. As an action, you can throw this flask up to 20 feet, shattering it on impact. Make a ranged attack against a creature or object, treating the Alchemist's Fire as an improvised weapon. On a hit, the target takes 1d4 at the start of each of its turns. And it's like on fire, on fire.
Sure.
Yeah, that's no good.
We're going down,
I
boys.
think. Fuck. I want to fight this room full of people.
For what it's worth, the dude in front of you looks a little bit more injured than fresh. Might have something to do with the 12 dead bodies in the back of the room.
That's a pretty good point. But he did also successfully kill 12 people with his 4.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
No pain, no gain, right? Let's go. First dagger attack. 20 to hit.
That will hit.
A plus.
Murdering time.
5 points of damage.
There you
To
go.
this one.
Stabby, stabby.
Stab, finding plenty of feathers, and now looking very, very injured.
Second attack.
Kill him and get outside. Inspiration. It's probably not worth it. It's
I
a
mean-
D6. You're
Oh, you're
what's the
right.
max that you can get here? Like 13? Is that the highest you can get?
Yeah. The highest I can get is a 13 if I max this out.
Well, you're never getting another inspiration, and if you don't kill this guy, you're not going to be able to run away, so...
10.
10 does not hit.
That's a problem.
It's alright. Tori's going to kill
Oh, I'm just gonna kill all this. Fine.
The final Kenku, who is breathing very heavily, is going to cower behind those boxes back there
How
as it
merciful.
thought that it escaped death once and is 11%. There's 1 of 11%. Yeah, it's nearly dead, so it's going to hide.
I think
and
I'm
take
gonna.
the dodge
I think I'm
action.
gonna back out
Okay.
over my brother's body after my attacks.
Okay.
At least for the moment.
opportunity.
I'm. It's okay.
Okay.
I can accept that.
You haven't been hit yet.
Oh, that was so close to a nat 20, but it will instead be a 10.
That does not hit.
does not
Like
hit.
I miss, but then deflect another one, and
As
then
it-
just like tumble over you real quick, just barely outside the door, so that I'm not about to get hit by
As
some
it
arrows.
lunges, and as
For the
we are
moment.
seeing,
Lightning bolt.
low HP leads to fleeing. Your turn.
Lightning bolt.
Which of those look like they're
The most
what's their
hurt?
health?
The painted one. looks like it's the least health of the ones in front of you.
Cool. I'll cast Sacred Flame. It's gonna be, what is it?
Is a
+4 to hit. Oh, never mind. Dex
12.
Ooh, meets it. So
Meets
he
it,
dodges.
barely dodges out of the way.
Oof. That's brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hide behind these boxes.
Okay.
Or just take cover behind the boxes.
Gotcha. Okay. We're back to the top with Kenku number 1. I think he is going to... Does he follow, or which one does he follow?
Bring it. I'll 1v1 the shit out of him outside. I just didn't want to get pelted with arrows while I did
He
it.
will follow you.
Okay.
He's going to run out the door and try to stab you.
Stabby stab. Just wait.
That's 23 to hit.
Let's go.
That is 6 points of slashing damage.
That's a lot of slashing damage.
I know, dude. They hit hard.
Damn. Quill.
They hit hard by rolling 1 die and adding nothing.
I need you to make a death saving throw.
Pass.
Just hit a
There you
20.
go.
Let me hit a 20. Let me hit a nat 20.
I'm getting flashbacks to Drow elites leaving Menzo Barons on. This guy is going to run around and try to attack Tori.
Which guy?
Nah.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't have any reaction at all. Do I have any reaction?
No, you
Don't think so.
Yeah, it's just...
I rolled a
Shit.
3.
Yes.
That will make that an 8 this time.
Yes.
So now I need you to make a death save.
12.
Alright, that's a pass.
But it wasn't a 20. So.
And we are back to Kane.
Sorry. I'm a freaking...
Alright.
Just wait. When I come back with 1 hit point, I'm coming at him.
If you would have done 20, that'd be huge. Because
That
then
would
he'd be
be
engaged and I could sneak attack him.
You think
I need
you
to be a swashbuckler already.
You really think I'd be engaged at...
Oh,
I'm fighting!
I'm not dead.
stab. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, right. I don't have this anymore. Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's,
Get the attacks going.
dagger attacks. That's bad.
Oh my gosh!
That's the same. Literally a pair of 4s.
Oh no!
We're so bad!
Those both miss, unfortunately.
Rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
That guy-
I did everything I could.
The guy that got the ice knife exploded in him is going to run towards the door that's at the bottom of the stairs.
I think back and forth that.
Sorry, straight back towards that wall. See the green line right there?
Oh.
Oh,
Run towards
shit.
that door.
I didn't notice it.
Your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my short sword. I'm gonna
Okay.
stab this Kenku in the guts.
What you didn't know is her sword.
Go ahead.
Just 2.
This
Short
miniature is
sword.
fucking sweet
I
looking.
know.
I don't know why I thought you would do that, but...
Shit.
It's the 2 knives.
That's 6.
It's a +2 short sword, right?
That's 6.
Look, like we'd be
Their
fine if we
AC is
were rolling
Their
terribly.
AC is 12.
We're level 1.
I know.
How'd you think this would go?
That misses. That's a tough one.
This does seem like a Georgian.
Kane, we're coming after you. Rolled a 2, so that's a 7. He does not make contact.
Yes.
First combat party one.
You guys didn't know you were watching a one-shot, did you?
Neither did we.
The guy in front of the boxes right now is going to also run towards the door under the stairs.
How merciful.
Oh, come on, bring it on,
They've
man.
got reasons. And the last one is going to try to attack.
You
Yeah.
gave him some
Because they need it so bad.
merciful amount of movement.
Rolled a 4 that time. 9.
Cool.
Okay. We're on to your turn.
I just want to
Alright,
say,
I'm gonna stab him again, except I'm gonna go
the
for
first
throat.
person he takes out
Throat
is the
stab.
sorcerer. I think he's trying to get advantage.
11!
11 does not hit.
Funny how that
Oh my
works.
gosh.
+2 short sword?
Alright, we're coming back to the top.
Wait,
Oh
Kevin,
yeah, we
did you
skipped
go?
death saves. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Did Kevin go that turn?
Did you roll yours?
He did.
Yeah.
He
We
did.
both
We
rolled ours.
both did.
Oh.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah.
We're about to do our second ones, though.
Right.
Yeah, this is our second time.
Correct.
I'm near the top of the order.
Yes, that's right. So we're attacking Kevin again. Rolled a 9. So that is a 12. Nope. 12 which does not hit
I
you.
So what I'm hearing is we're whiffing
Quill.
back and forth.
This is like
Pass.
There you go. All
here
right.
comes the gnat.
So on these two guys' turn, you're gonna see the one that's closer enter that back room, and the other one
Except nobody
run
sees that.
up to the door.
Because she's literally
Yeah,
in
nobody
boxes.
sees that.
You're gonna run up to the door.
He's not up yet.
That's safe.
20 or obviously.
That was what's under the 13? Yeah, I was real close to a 1.
Yeah.
Did you pass or fail?
Pass.
Okay. Kane.
Just you wait one
Kanye.
more.
Eventually, right? There we
Yeah,
go.
that's
22 to hit.
That will hit.
That's a roll.
You know, this encounter is designed for a party of
Yeah,
3
yeah,
for
4.
characters.
You didn't
4
4
damage.
points. 4 points is enough to drop this bird as feathers fly and dark red blood pours onto the lawn. He
All right.
falls.
Falls. Back into the room. Behind this guy. Second attack. Sneak attack.
Go for it.
Oh, sneak attack.
Can you not roll single digits?
11.
Does not hit.
Shove out
Dang,
over
nabbit.
here.
Run
Every
back
single
into
roll
darkness.
we've rolled would have hit something.
Oh my gosh.
+5.
Well, because you and I
Coming
have been
after
making
you.
all of our saves. So,
Yeah.
so we're
Roll
guaranteed
2.
we would have hit every
A
time.
7.
Great.
Your turn.
All right.
You got this. One hit.
This
That's
is
it.
high energy D&D right here. Oh!
It's going really well.
Quill! We're back to you since the first one's dead.
Great.
20?
I fail.
Fail?
He died.
Okay.
One strike, you're out.
Okay. This time, you two see those two emerge.
What?
Oh, great.
With a machine gun.
Let's see.
Listen, there's no Gatling.
Just like repeating crossbow.
We're
or
going to
something.
use this one for now.
Oh, thank God, Durnan's here. Durnan, help, please.
We need your long sword.
Out of the darkness, you guys can make out the form of a very ratty, muddy, tired, and potentially unconscious male figure
Did you
with
say potentially unconscious?
potentially unconscious.
They pull him out?
They
They're that
pulled him
strong?
out of the thing,
Okay.
dragging him. They both kind of are,
Okay.
as they are angling towards the window.
Oh, are they taking him somewhere?
It's over here.
Oh, shit.
Or actually, sorry, they're gonna work to head upstairs. Make
So like out of here and around and then trying to go up.
correct, so they can kind of get to the base of the stairs this turn.
Wait, do that have to be because they're dragging a body?
Yeah, but they're dragging it together, so they both kind of move on their own.
And they weigh how much? Sorry. It's okay.
Okay, look,
I'm just saying.
Uh,
They're cool, tiny.
death save.
20. I'm like, 20. Nope. I'll start 3.
All right, Kane,
Threes. It's
you're up.
Okay,
It's all you, man.
we got it.
I tried.
You're flanking. You have advantage.
All right, advantage. 19
That will hit with sneak
with
attack.
sneak attack. A 1 on the D4 and a 2 on the D6 for a whopping total of 6 damage.
6 points is enough to take
Oh my
out
gosh.
that.
My God.
Got the
This one's on death's door.
That is correct.
Yeah.
He had several scars
So-
of dried blood on him from before.
I still have movement.
Yep, and another attack.
I don't know. This square is weird, but I guess if they're like sort of all on the stairs together.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom of it.
They're at the very they haven't started up the stairs yet.
And
So they're about
technically, this guy's not blocking you. He's prone.
right.
No, and actually that's not even right. I'm going to turn around and
brother.
try and stabilize him
Make a
because
medicine
there's no
check.
way that I prioritize getting floon over, him not just fucking dying.
You think?
A whopping 10 because I have a -1 to my medicine
10?
check.
So I don't totally know how stabilizing works.
Is that the DM screen?
It is not. Stabilize.
On this one.
Successful DC 10 medicine check, which is exactly enough to stop
Exactly
your
enough.
brother from bleeding out.
Nailed it.
So do I get up?
No,
Quill.
but you're
I know.
okay.
I know.
You're up next.
There's somebody.
It is not
I'm just not dying.
Are you sure it's
Aelin.
not him?
Aelin.
Okay. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, yeah, no, yeah. You're
I'm
next.
absolutely not letting
people get away. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. Do I have to go all the way around? Is that
Yeah,
option?
or it's like
Probably
double.
step over the body.
I'm gonna hop over the boxes.
Yeah.
Parkour.
And 3 after? Is that legit or 1 less?
One less. But
Okay. And I'm gonna use Sacred Flame at.
The one with a bunch of ice shards in his body.
Yeah. Oh, I don't roll.
rolled a
2.
7 plus 4 is 11.
Fail.
Fail. Good. Do damage.
Yeah.
1d8.
Are you
All
targeting
right.
the nearly dead one or the not nearly dead one?
Nearly dead.
Yeah,
Just trying to come watch him die and then be sad about it.
yeah, and then
6.
bird
6 points.
Yeah.
That one also falls.
Yeah, it does.
As
Like just
The
falls off the stairs.
young man's head kind of thuds to the ground a little bit.
Alright.
Sucks to suck.
It does. We are back to
I
Quill.
would know.
Uh-oh.
I'm tired.
Fail.
So is it 1 save and 2 fails?
2-2.
2
2.
2. What do you mean,
So
3
that-
consecutive, or has it?
No, just
No. 3 total. So the next
Either
one
way.
decides which way this
Oh,
goes.
I got him. I got him. I got him. You
the
get the
one
guys, I got
who
him.
was dragging the body is going to pull his short sword out, and he's just going to look at you. He's going to hold the short sword to the neck of the guy that's being tied up. Don't move.
It's not my turn, bro.
I'm out of movement.
That's going to be his
That's as
move.
far I can go in this 6 second increment.
You are stabilized,
Yep.
which I don't.
You're kind of just unconscious
Yeah.
and not dying.
There you go.
Question.
So we're on to Kane. Yes.
See if
Does,
I'm
does
mad
my
at you
appearance
after I
stick
know.
after I'm unconscious? Well, you get to see my real face.
I'm mad at you.
Oh, cool! What does he look like? What do you look like?
Good catch.
I thought it was minutes ago, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait before I say anything. I'm a tiefling. I have red. I have like light red skin, sort of like sideburns that come almost all the way down, like mutton chops kind of thing. Longish black hair, and my horns sort of like they stay very close to my head, and they sort of mimic like a wavy hair, as if
Oh, cool.
sort of like kind of like what my hair was like the first time you saw me.
Is it like cylindrical or more flat to your head?
Cylindrical mostly, but the part that's closest to my head gets a little flatter to accommodate for my head.
Awesome.
Other than that, I have a very scrawny, not super scrawny, but I'm definitely more on the scrawny side. I have, yeah. I mean, that's otherwise I'm mostly the same. I'm wearing the clothes I was describing before were my real clothes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. As he lay bleeding, you see his true form
I'm dead,
as
right?
we get to your turn. No. Sorry. Kane.
Okay.
Alton.
Malphite. Malphite R.
Red can or blue can?
I'm just gonna move up about this close. Whap! And we're gonna take the gamble, and I'm gonna throw a dagger straight at this one.
Okay.
Yeah. 12.
12 just hits.
Oh, nice.
7 points of damage.
Ooh! Okay.
Max
Still up,
damage.
but barely.
Do you have your second attack, or is it?
I do have a second attack.
You see him push a little harder on the short sword.
He doesn't have a reaction to do this.
He's not doing anything specifically, he's just pushing a little harder on it.
I'm throwing the second dagger.
Yep.
You get
14 to hit.
Hits.
5 damage.
That's enough.
Yeah, well done.
As you let them fly, the second bird falls as you see a scrape kind of pull across his neck. Some blood starts to trickle, but it looks mostly superficial upon further inspection.
Just cut his neck off.
We are on to your turn next with your...
I'll cast Spare the Dying.
I was hoping you had that specific spell.
That'll
What's
do.
that do?
Pretty good.
Stop.
Just auto
Instant
stabilizes
stabilize.
or
That's so good.
auto destabilizes an opposing stabilized creature. Yeah, it can do both.
I did not know that. That's
I'm
dope.
pretty sure it can do both.
Oh, that's sick.
I mean, why you wouldn't just hit them is
I want to
beyond
close
me,
my
but
eye. I would have stabilized.
There you go. Well,
But
And
still.
double tap. We're good.
in the quiet and now kind of blood-slicked
Oh,
room that you're in,
I could have sworn it did both.
you notice a strawberry blonde figure
What's he wearing?
laying on the ground. Extremely nice, if
there-
not very murky clothes.
Is there a unicorn on it?
They're
It's lingerie.
The important questions.
Do you like my hair?
Yeah, I was the one the answer is wearing.
there is not.
A unicorn.
Sorry, there's
Oof.
not a what?
There's not a unicorn around his neck.
Floon had a unicorn on his shirt.
So it's the wrong guy.
You
This is
see
green air.
breath come in and out of his lungs,
I don't.
and in the interest of a little bit of time, we will call it there and pick it up here next week.
Boom.
Whenever we play next. Thank you all for sticking around.
Total
Congratulations
party kill.
on not dying.
That was when I was standing outside. I was very strongly considering yelling guards.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is like going that poorly already.
Against birds.
Against birds. See how they fare next week against rats. Thank you for
Wow.
coming in, everybody.
Not
We'll see you
well.
soon.
See ya.
I
Bye.